We are now in the green. Welcome back, everyone.
And I say, how bad can it be?
We are back for another episode of Rising Sun, Chapter 6, I believe.
I say, how bad can it be?
That's what
Tales
it
from
says
the
on the
Red
stream
Sun.
as
We
well.
are back. Now,
Somebody just asked how it could be, how bad it could be. It could probably be pretty bad. We're still scanning.
And then everyone exploded.
We can only hope it's that merciful.
last
Then you heard the demon laugh.
Last time, our lovely band of heretics managed to fend off an invasion of the ship's bridge. They are now, but however, they were forced to retreat from the battle in the void, and they are now in warp travel. And just to clear this up for our lovely viewers at home, Lozzie's character was tragically killed by Nullis's character. She was unconscious, and he proceeded to put a bolt shell through the back of her skull. And he is presently disposing of her corpse out of the airlock. However, she did retain. She did burn a fate point, so her soul is now in the hands of Sheogoth, the Laughing God. Just something to bear in mind for the future. But for the purposes of the rest of this campaign, she is deceased, her character. And with that out of the way, we have a new character to join us. We have Pastafari, who is playing Ziv. Pasta, tell us a little bit about Ziv.
Civ is more or less the sole survivor of an assault by Chaos, as the Imperium of Man itself was trying to assault the Screaming Vortex. That didn't go over too well. Now he's part of Chaos, in the essence.
A nice simple backstory.
That's the backstory of every Rainbow Six Siege team ever. Oh, we're losing, time to team kill everyone.
Sometimes show and not tell is the best course, so I'm sure we'll learn more about Ziv as time goes on. And
show and not tell.
One thing, this is Pasta's first ever RP game apparently, so fucking saddle up, I guess. This might be an interesting one either way for you. Regardless. So yeah, you're now all in warp travel. First Officer Diller is making some final calculations on the consoles while you're still there assembled. He says some final words to the helmsman, turns around to you guys, and he just lets out a small sigh of relief and is like, "Well, my lords, we are safely in the warp now, on our way to the coordinates."
Safely.
As safe as we can be, at least. Now, my lords, if there's nothing else, I would humbly suggest that you make yourselves to the med bay to attend to your injuries. My crew can take care of any cleanup, shall we say. And I will keep the corpses of the Astartes and the stormtroopers safe. You may peruse them when you're ready.
Alright.
Can
I come back from medbay fully healed.
My character, you see my character.
Hey, yo, what's going on in this thread?
Yeah,
You
basically,
see Voss suck in his gut and just try and clip the flip belt on.
basically,
You see my character.
Ziv and Lord Cyclops basically turned up just as you were entering warp travel as reinforcements, so to speak, and then they were kind of like, "Oh, the battle's already over," so that's why they're here.
Yeah, Civ's also a bit of a medic, so He
Yeah.
can help with injuries.
Yeah.
I am leaking a distressing amount, if I may have some attention.
Okay.
I give
Don't
them
want to leak a lot.
it's like somebody emergency leaking on the floor. I give them a medicate test.
My character has multiple wounds, and her eyes are flitting around the room as if she's in shock.
Yeah.
Well, fun.
Now, it might be all the blood loss, but were you being demonically possessed? Because it looks like you won, and that's concerning. And impressive, but mostly concerning.
I'm more concerned that she doesn't appear to be anymore.
Well, actually, there's one change you'd be able to notice.
Oh, sorry.
But
That's
she's
plus 10.
All right. Cool.
That's the. Is that the Medicaid?
Yeah, the
modifier?
medicate.
Okay.
What's called? Jimmy walks up to, or takes a step towards his commanding officer and salutes and says, "Shall I accompany the lords to the med bay?"
Yes, I would appreciate that, Lieutenant. I'm gonna go get myself some rest for a little moment. The helmsman can handle the navigations during the warp. Anything
I can
needs to
still
be done.
hear it.
But-
I'll commence routine patrols the ship.
Of course, you are free to act as you see fit. If you
I-
need me urgently, just forward through to my comm bead, and I'll try and answer when I can.
You're still laughing.
Just to make
So-
sure we don't have any other passengers.
Right. What I'll say is the Medicaid. When you guys get to the med bay, we will do some extended Medicaid tests when you're ready. So.
Yeah, this is basically just to patch them up so they can be transported.
Yeah, that's
Gotcha.
fair enough.
Okay.
You both succeed in that case. You manage to help your allies out, and they're able to move without getting damaged too much. So.
Is there any specific amount healed in the temporary, or is it just
No. You're basically he
for
basically
story
stabilizes
purpose.
you. Yeah.
stabilizing?
Yeah.
Cool.
So you,
What
when
I
you're
want to know, to see the state of the ship.
you may make a tech use test if you want to go on one of the consoles and get a little diagnostics.
Yeah.
I'll give you plus 20.
I just roll tech.
Ziv, I'd like to say that she'll be fine, but
Ooh.
I'm not a liar by nature.
Okay. Cyclops. The ship is barely functioning at the minute. It took a lot of damage in the Void battle, multiple torpedo hits, loads of barrages from macro cannons. Fortunately, most of the main systems are back online now. The Geller field's working fine. The engines are not great, but they're functional. And the warp drive's okay as well. And so is life support. Some of your weapons are not in a great shape, but there are still a few that are operable, shall we say. And also your armor is completely shredded in many places, as you would imagine. So you're still alive,
Like,
but it could be a lot better.
How
I
many
suppose.
crew did we lost in this?
Yes.
Yeah, like say you were. I would need to look up the actual numbers because 40k ships are
You
massive.
can just give us the percent.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Say there's about 1,000 people on the ship. You've probably lost about 400 people. I would say, like just a little over a quarter, probably about a third, more like, just from that void battle. A mixture
Do we
of
have it-
that well.
cultists.
we have
and
Hearing this, Jimmy thinks to himself to go to one of the chaos preachers, if any of them are still alive, and start pushing some Slanesh worship. They need to. He's thinking long term for the ship. They're going to
I hate to break this to you, but
Yeah.
I don't think that Slaneshi activities usually result in viable offspring.
Pregnancy.
I will.
Eh,
That actually
Jimmy-
reminds me.
It is hard to be pregnant through
Jimmy's
the
innocent.
ear.
Jimmy's innocent. He doesn't. He doesn't know the bad shit about Slanesh yet.
He just knows
That
the
rem-
basic
that
bootstrap
reminds
shit.
that reminds me. I need to find my cult leader.
Okay, I'm just going to show the chat this artwork. This is fantastic. This will no doubt be the thumbnail for what we'll use in the future. So good job, as always.
1 hour.
It's so magnificent.
Yep.
Complete horseshit.
Okay.
Well, TBA, warp fuckery is mostly warshit.
You need anything else before I take you to the mid?
Yeah, I just want to. Is there any other ship following us, or are we alone?
You
This,
are
endeavor.
alone in the warp for now.
Yeah, and the review how much things can be fixed. Supplies, shit like that. How good are we for the time?
You've
Best
got
not to
enough.
ride in the warp.
Yeah, you've got enough like food and so forth to last for a little while. Yeah, you don't have to worry too much about supplies. But in terms of
We have
repairs, the ship will basically need to be in. This isn't entirely accurate because it's in space, but dry dock, shall we say, that the ship will need to actually go into port to make proper repairs.
Not moving.
Yes. Before
Not
you
in a
can restore.
gravity well.
Yeah, I'm going to go looking for suitable replenishment place.
Let's just steal another ship.
And
I'm not.
nail it
I
over
might be
walls.
slightly delirious from all the blood loss. I'm not sure.
We,
Steal another ship at the port.
we ain't gonna find another light cruiser class in a hurry. We'll be lucky to find. I know. I never even served on a ship smaller than this. What even goes lower than a light cruiser?
Did you hear that?
No. Ship to surface.
No, we didn't. You're
Yeah.
delirious. Take some more
Yeah,
drugs.
sorry. What class of ship is this? I forgot.
Light cruiser.
It's roughly like a dawnless light cruiser, so
I mean, somebody definitely needs help ASAP, so I'm
Yeah.
just gonna roll
Basically
for
a large
medikit.
frigate.
not quite full.
Yeah, I'm going to finish my role playing and say, lads, to the med bay. I will stay here to check the maps of our next location.
Everything's screaming. Everything's crawling.
It always does.
Someone get that cat a blanket, or maybe a mouse. I don't know. Just
Says the
"Why,
cat.
I've got a headache. Shut up! I'm a mutant. You know I'm a mutant.
That was out of character, but fair enough.
Are you all ready to proceed to Mr. Zyler Winter?
Sure.
Show.
Okay. He has... Richlist, are you still on the bridge, or are you coming with?
I will just pretend to stay a bit longer, and when I come back, you will roll what I got on the map search for the next location.
Okay, no worries, I'll just
Or
go
if you
with
can, like, places for us, you can give us an order from the hills.
Yep. Yep, feel free to drag your icons onto the map when you're ready.
Helps if I don't do it on the screen for the fucking live stream.
But uncertain where.
It's not working. It just keeps pausing.
Okay. You see where it says
Let's try
journal?
that again.
Yeah. You literally...
my icon on it. I don't know how.
Damn it.
Okay, there you go.
Click on your name and drag it over.
Yep, you just click and drag it.
There we go.
That's it.
Took a bit.
Let's see what the chat is saying about us. I'm sure.
Oh.
But your mum gay is literally the first thing they said.
Sounds about right.
No,
I don't know if that's the most uplifting shot.
Okay.
Nullis's bus driver doesn't know where to go.
Oh boy.
You should not say thank you to the bus driver.
Okay.
You shouldn't
Thaddeus
say
Maximus
thank you
is
to
disappointed to hear that it buffered just as Bill was saying a one-liner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently kids are going to attend school wearing Fortnite outfits on Halloween.
That's
You should react accordingly by bringing a shotgun.
Dude, I'm going.
Pickaxe.
Yeet.
fucking
Oh
hell.
no, just go from
Dude,
Rising
I'm just
Storm
gonna-
and make a Matic.
Halloween, I'm just gonna fucking go as I'm just gonna go as Satan, but on vacation. So I'm wearing a fucking
No, it's,
I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt. I'm just going to wear a Hawaiian shirt and fucking
Like sticks and hammer.
Satan horns.
No, here's what you have to do. As the kids dressed in Fortnite costume come to your door, and you just answer it while wielding a shotgun, and they ask you, so what costume do you have, Mister? Thanos.
Oh no.
See,
Should
basically,
be a fort.
if we want to just do anything, we need to be eating on destroyers and corvettes.
Yeah.
I hope there's like a 40k Thanos.
Isn't that a nightmare?
A Nightbringer or Huron or
I like to
basically
imagine that
anyone.
all of this conversation is fucking in character.
You just
Oh, I'm saying they show up wearing these fucking stupid costumes. You just bring a gun.
Fucking stupid chaos Fortnite.
Chaos Fortnite.
If anything would have survived into this kind of horror, it would be that.
That's not the kind of
No,
chaos I
dude,
wanna
that's
get
just a
behind.
fucking. That's just a fucking planet that in Corrin's realm is the Fortnite planet.
Hey, Stu. So, Ritualist point has taken sent a picture in the general chat. Could you show us where the bad men touched us?
Pretty much.
You can just put the red dots, and I'll adjust the image to be damaged ships, so we can use it in the future as we repair it, upgrade the image.
Alright, cool. I'll do that shortly once we get to the med bay. We'll have that as a little repair. We can have that as a little fucking, what do you call it? A status thing for your ship as a picture. Yeah.
Yeah,
in the
I'm
future.
gonna do this.
Okay.
What color do we want? Red? What color is the ship? This is
I would hope it would be red.
It was originally grey with like a green sort of creamish prow, but it is now kind of reddish because it's now the red
So,
sun.
like an Imperial cruiser.
Yes, but it's gone a bit red now. So
Running into Star Whales.
Just a bunch of people on the bridge every time they hit a star whale. Woo!
Just send out one of the crewmen in a fucking void suit with a mop.
Viscera cleanup detail, deep fucking space.
okay. So most of you are now in the med bay. Upon entering said med bay, Zyler Winter looks up from his work. Now, he's actually cleaned up remarkably quickly. You know those armsman bodies you saw earlier? They've all gone.
Yeah.
Are they mysteriously gone?
They are mysteriously gone. And not too sure where. Everything's been scrubbed down. It's almost like there was no battle here at all. So yeah. Upon
Where do I get
Are we
the
just
horrible-
seeing like the menacing aura around him as we step
Where do I get
A
the
little
horrible
bit,
feeling
yeah.
that dinner's gonna be an interesting one tonight.
So yeah, upon seeing you enter, he makes his way over to you all. My friends, I see you are
this?
well enough and have taken care of our problems.
Well, it's the best we could.
A hole full of bullet wounds.
Very good.
Hurts.
I'm completely fine.
Fuck you.
Jimmy, it is good to see you again. How have you been?
Doctor, how you doing? Have you had any trouble down here during the battle?
Well, as you can see, our friends helped me out earlier on, but besides that, I've not had too much worry. I've been taking care of the survivors, of course. Nothing
Good.
Nothing
good.
too
Doing your job.
serious.
Doing your job.
Why, thank you,
Good stuff.
Jimmy. Thank you, Lieutenant.
I will. I'll be making my rounds later on.
No worries, Jimmy. I
Go to
appreciate
your work,
that.
I guess.
Of course. You are not injured, I take it, Jimmy.
Nah. Dark gods have looked after me so far.
Excellent. But now, the rest of you, please, come over here if you need some assistance. So, who out of you lot is injured? I think most of you were injured somewhat. Or at least half of you, maybe.
I am
On a scale of
heavily
fine-
damaged.
On a scale of fine to 17, I have 0.
You're on -1, aren't you? So you're critically damaged.
Both the cat folk are fucked up. I've got a few scuffs from shrapnel wounds, but it's nothing a staple gun and a bottle-looking fucking Red Bull won't fix.
I'm considered heavily damaged because I have double my. It's double my toughness bonus, isn't it?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
one's
I'm
crit,
heavily-
one's heavy, and one's light. Well,
Yeah.
that's a nice.
The initial Medicaid test, I was trying to buy things with my XP while you were doing that, and a successful Medicaid test removes the critical wound effect and puts me on 0. But that's it.
Okay. The good news is, Zyler Winter has more than enough intelligence, even without his assistance, to treat you all simultaneously with extended care.
Woo!
Yeet.
Oh,
Now, in terms of time, this is going to take 1 day of care to have a look at you. It's done technically each day, but for the purpose of this, we're going to say this is his evening of care that he does for you.
Hey,
Okay.
could I roll perception during that day so I could get an update on just the general security situation in the ship?
Yeah, by all means. I'll give you a +20 for that when you make the roll. So,
if I can have access to
how
a
do I-
console, I will help.
How do I do that roll? How do I do that roll?
Okay.
Security. There's a macro.
What is the macro?
It's above sleight of hand, but below scrutiny.
I'm on my projector again.
All
Sorry.
no worries.
Uh,
Let's have a look.
Sorry for getting you to play for me. But
Oof. I'll tell you what.
this is always the bit this is honestly always the bit that gets in the way of me doing role playing stuff.
No worries.
because your screen is so big, you cannot see things.
Skog,
Yeah,
I've given you
because-
control of his sheet
Because
as
my
well,
dick is too big.
Oh, cool.
just so you can do it if you need, or if I'm busy with
Open
something
up
else.
Yeatman. Let's make it visible. Sorry, second. And open a new tab so it doesn't say Ursula is doing things when it's. Loading. Yeatman. That Aussie has seen some shit.
Yes. You work so fast, Ritualist. Jesus.
Oof.
and at some part of the day after this search around the ship and getting the progress report, there's a part of time where Jimmy just gets a look on his face and stares into the middle distance, like through the walls of the ship, and just like he's just smoking a glow stick.
Judging
And
by the
he's
roll I
not-
got for you, that's what you did
Oh, what-
instead of doing anything.
Yeah. What's that?
I rolled a 90 for you.
Is that good?
No.
Oof.
Low is
Oh.
good. It's out of
I got a
100.
55 out of 50 to help you.
So, I'm just gonna take it that this ship is too fucked up right now.
The doors are only opening in the wrong direction.
Okay.
Several
They're
staircases
meant
just
to open
terminate in
vertically.
empty space.
The doors are meant to open
There's
vertically.
one
They
room that
don't.
is just that one room from one of the fucking Animatrix episodes.
It's just one room,
This-
inextricably filled with hippos. They're angry.
We attempted
And here's
to
the
another
ship
room
in
It's now a
damage state.
hypercube.
Oh fuck.
There's
Oh,
a room.
boys.
There's a room where a bunch of skeletons are playing fucking poker. What the fuck?
Oh no, not that room.
I'm just gonna
No,
show the
that-
chat this. So this is the undamaged version of the ship. Now damaged ship. Oof.
I'm going for a smoke. So if you need me, Jimmy is just looking into the middle distance with a low stick,
Okay. Sounds good.
and
He
he's
now
not
knows
responsive.
Johanna is mumbling in her sleep as she's being treated.
Okay.
As I was looking at the stream, just to quickly add, from Nullus, I will now shoot up my school. Thanks, Bill. And now the watch list. Oh, dear.
Alright.
Welcome to radical Islam.
So
Skateboards into the distance.
Well, we all know the school shooter anthem. Do 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 do.
alright. So Skog, thanks to
Yes.
the test that Zyler Winter made for you all as he cared for you today, you recover 4 wounds.
Yay.
You are now at 3, I believe, if you remove them last one,
Yeah.
for this day. However, no
Heavily
doubt,
damaged.
no doubt you will need to spend more time in the med bay in the near future.
I have been recovered to lightly damaged.
Yep, you also
I'm
get 4
trying to
wounds from that,
find
Grant.
How I
And
buy skills.
Bill, you barely took any damage at all, so he literally just slaps a few plasters and fucking.
This is the
Gives you a
situation.
lollipop.
Like, could you like run a magnet over my wounds? and
Yeah.
like, gloomy shirt.
And then he just puts a dressing over and it's like, there, you're done. You keep barely
You
not
get
see as he's
lollipop.
doing it.
You was a good boy. You get the lollipop.
Hell yeah.
This is just a scrotum on a cocktail stick.
It's a lollipop.
Hell yeah. Just the scrotum, not the contents thereof. Not like a balloon on a stick.
Alright.
Hey yo, it's the
Right.
it's the elf killer.
It's the ANCAP Marine.
Oof.
Right. Here's what's gonna happen, okay? Monstrum is gonna walk into the med bay, after having been missing for the evening, completely covered in blood.
You see
And
you
he-
see Voss kind of suck his teeth slightly, like you see his tongue run around the inside of his mouth a little bit. How much of that is yours?
I'm just gonna sit down and I'm gonna grab one of like the towels that I'm assuming are here since it's a med bay and start cleaning off my shit.
None, got it. None
Yep.
of that is his.
Zyler Winter directs one of the servitors to help you out a bit, Ellis, as you're doing this. Just to help you clean
Got it.
some stuff down if you wish it.
Nullus, on a scale from Eldar blood is notably brighter red than human blood, how red are you?
I mean, various.
It's
His,
the rainbow.
his armor used to be yellow and black. Now it's just red.
See, in my armor, it's a very old set, and it has inside soaked with marine blood. I can now say that the outside is also soaked with blood of more than just marines.
Oh.
I've got that going.
Korn would be proud.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you gentlemen would like to do in the med bay at all?
Some kind of poker.
I guess.
Repeatedly poke her until she gets angry.
Ah,
I guess
poker,
it's
not
just-
poker.
That is a
I
point.
guess the only thing.
Yeah, go on.
I guess the only thing would be I'm going to guess that during the evening and night, is when Johanna receives her gift of Shanish.
Yes, that will happen basically when you go to sleep, essentially, for the evening. So,
Fair enough.
yep. Just because it makes more sense that way to me, but and it's more convenient. Would any of you like to find out what happened to Jane?
Yeah, what happened to the prisoners?
Jane is still somewhat comatose, but she is stable and recovering well. So, hopefully tomorrow, Zyler Winter basically says to you, Skog, wasn't she like you were captive or something?
Yeah, possibly. I think so.
He,
One of
he,
them, anyway.
he turns to you and goes, Fräulein, your captive should hopefully be awake tomorrow, if you wish to speak with her. She is recovering well. I have left her completely untouched as you requested, besides healing her wounds.
Thank you.
No worries. Is there anything else, friends?
I send the message from the bridge to the doctor. Send me the list of supplies and stuff he needs after the attack.
Thank you, Lord Cyclops. I shall do so. And he transmits.
I also sent the message basically to everybody else too. Yeah, what the fuck is...
Uh-huh. You all receive the message. Okay. As you're recovering in the med bay and just getting finished up, you hear a voice on the Vox, and you recognize that as First Officer Diller. And he says, my lords, before you retire for the evening, would you care to join me in the mess hall? I have some fine bottles of amasec, so we can discuss how to proceed going forward.
Sure. I could adjust my alcohol blood levels.
I go to pick up John so he can drink with us.
Okay.
Johanna heard the mention of drugs and literally sprung up awake.
Suddenly, Jimmy drops his glow stick, just gets into a fetal position on the ground and just starts screaming the name Maria.
Stop flying.
And he,
Oh, great, he's doing it again.
And it goes on for like fucking 2 minutes. And then he comes back to himself and just like stands up and looks around like it's really awkward.
Fortunately, there isn't many people around to see you do this, so you're mostly okay, I guess. So.
He says to everyone in the room, if anyone ever tells anyone that happened, I will fucking gut you.
All the naval crewmen just look a little concerned and kind of just turn their heads away from you as you do this and go back to what they're doing.
Still, I want to roll perception. Do
Yep.
I notice this to camera feed?
Make me a +10 awareness check, Ritualist.
Where is awareness? Is that awareness? Yeah.
Yep. Okay, yeah, that's 3 degrees of success. Yeah, you pretty much saw the whole thing unfold on the monitors. Fortunately, Dab's fucking, what do you call it?
Jimmy.
Jimmy doesn't know you were watching him, fortunately, but you now know, Ritualists.
Okay, now the second thing. Is there audio from the med bay or is it just image?
Make a tech use test at +10.
Gotta get the right frequency, you know?
Yep.
If you roll well enough, you can overlay the words "World Star" on this recording.
So sorry, I pressed.
Oh my fuck!
No, sorry.
You
My
hear...
bad.
Oh, right, did you fuck up? Oof.
I think that's supposed to be 57, not
Yeah,
146.
57.
Okay. Regardless, that's like at least 3 or 4 degrees success. Yeah, you hear the audio so clearly you can hear his breathing basically through the thing. So that's how good you are at this shit.
Like, he is fucking shaking when he's doing this. He's shaking when he's screaming.
Yeah.
I fucking press the ship intercom button.
Yep.
Let's see. All of the crew. Sorry. All of the crew. If the serviceman Jimmy tries any shit on you, you have permission to educate him. Jimmy, I strongly suggest you never try shit this again. We have rooms for that.
Oh boy.
What does he mean, educate?
What did he mean by this?
I mean, we here in the med bay have absolutely no fucking clue why Cyclops is talking about.
We didn't see shit.
All of you remember that?
Alright.
No,
The only
Jimmy
important
did
thing
this
is
in
that
front
Jimmy
of
needs
all
to
of
be
you.
educated.
Jimmy did this. Jimmy did this in front of all of you.
Oof.
I passed Jimmy
In
a
the
pack of
med
smokes.
Oh boy.
Just tap it on the side
I-
of the bed. Offer him one.
Okay.
He drops your old one.
Okay, so we're going to meet with the fucking captain.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you all are willing to do that, you can accept this invitation and go to the mess hall.
Bitch, I heard free alcohol, I'm going.
Alright. I take it everyone else's.
Also, Dom, I think I've undone all the accidental modifications to your character sheet, as I was totally paying attention which one I was upgrading.
Okay, I'm just gonna quickly
So
share
if you
some
find
more.
you have any new skills,
I'm just gonna share some more art. This is Ritualist as he fucking Nullus as he came back from his trip to the airlock, as you can still see.
Like hue of bright fucking magenta he is.
I love the really wide smile and wide eyes.
The beady eyes.
The smile almost reaches my ear.
I
You
had
look a
fun.
fucking Pez. You look a Pez
I look like a
dispenser.
Canadian. I look like a Canadian from South Park.
so
Okay.
Ah yes, the boom of boost.
Oh yeah. So
if this is the room I think it is, shouldn't there be a motorbike on the table?
yes. Motorbike is still there. Unmolested.
It should be. Well, you say that, it might have something to do with the fact that it's alive.
Are they weird enough?
Only mildly, but enough.
Is that our commanding of the main officer of the ship?
That is the first officer of the bridge, and he is, well, he started to kind of drink before you get here, and he's almost completely plastered right now, but he holds his drink pretty well, so he's kind of like, my friends, thank you for joining me. It's not been the best day, has it, my lords?
I need something to calm my head.
It's of course, my dear. And he just kind of pushes a glass of full, like it's full to the brim of Amasek, like he hasn't even poured out as a shot. He just filled it right up and just
Upon hearing
tosses
the
it.
words, upon hearing the words, it hasn't been the best of days, has it? I just kind of stand there incredulously with a cigarette in my mouth as like panels behind me are just sparking and exploding. Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, today wasn't the best.
Enough of the server to survive, though, sir. I'm sure we can make sufficient repairs to be airworthy should we decide to make planetfall.
Very good work. I'm glad you lot are at least more competent than Lord Cyrus's bunch of cultists. You just start.
That was us too.
Competent is a very
Oh,
strong word,
oh
my
no,
friend,
no,
but I'll
no,
drink to
no,
that.
my dear. You are much more than a mere
Monstrum.
cultist.
If
Monstrum
you say so,
says,
she says as she takes and drinks the whole glass in one.
Pours you another
Monstrum.
one, Gren.
I grab a drink and I say, "Officer Flattery will get you everywhere."
Monstrum.
Ow.
Monstrum says our battle certainly could have gone much worse, and then a ceiling tile falls on his head.
Are you alright, my lord?
Well,
What?
when a
So,
I'm good now.
He's always fine.
when some bitch from the Inquisition tries to get in your head, well, you need to try and forget, shall we say. He just again he just proceeds to pour more fucking shot glasses and just tosses them all to you, just barely caring what's in them.
Yeah.
He's got
before-
like
before
a couple of
anybody
balls of
gets-
anesthetic near him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna,
Before they get completely plastered, do we have like a report of viable destinations?
Basically, Ritualist, he inputted a bunch of coordinates that Lord Strikes told you all guys last session about where to regroup at. And there, as far as you know, you're heading to those coordinates right now. The navigator's basically doing her best to keep you on track towards that area. Keg
Yes,
drinker.
it's a good thing.
I would like to make that charm check directed at Iona, and offer her something that I kept having put in my locker by some of the other cultists on the grounds that she might have better use for it. Han's bag of catnip.
Have you well that bag very quickly disappears from your hands, shall we say.
Let me find a picture of how our NPCs I did last time.
It is wrenched from your hand so fast it leaves a Soul Calibur style flame trail.
Yes. Just have you ever seen someone crush a have you ever seen how people take cocaine dust?
Oof.
Fucking
Sorry. To war!
My face when I handed her a plant and she just snorted a plant.
nah, she crushed it up.
A
Complete
complete,
with the pot.
I say complete unprocessed plan. It's fine, just fucking Resident Evil it up your nose.
Sure, we'll go with that.
As
She was going to cut it up though.
As your revelry continues somewhat, Diller kind of broaches something to you guys, and he's like, "So, do you know much about the Red Sun?"
What?
My lord.
That's the name of the ship.
No,
ship,
I
yes.
don't really know much about the Red Sun.
I know it's a Dauntless class, but other than that, not really that much.
I've not
I
had
mean,
reason to explore much.
you were here, of course, Jimmy, although not as long as some of the other crew, but put it this way. I used to serve, let me just find his name, hold on. I used to serve Lord Admiral Pallas Kimball back in my Imperial days. The Red Sun was a Dauntless light cruiser under his battle group. We engaged your kind out during the Gothic War. It was quite the skirmish. Our battle group, the Dauntless cruisers and our picket ships, formed a vanguard to make an opening through the Chaos lines. We succeeded, but at a heavy price. During the battle, our ship and many others got caught into a tear in the warp, shall we say. I'm sure many of you know how unpleasant those are, and what kind of things dwell in the warp.
I nervously scratch my ass.
I flick my thumb off of some of my nails and like pause at my pinky finger on my right hand, which is completely missing its nail. And it's scarred over. Yeah, you can see a few things in my time.
The next time you look at Jimmy, he suddenly has a full face beard.
I look into the shot glass momentarily. Maybe we should stop drinking out of bolt shells.
I mean, if you're gonna shop,
As you're gonna say stuff about his story, he continues. We tried many times to contact Lord Admiral Palace, but he refused. He was perfectly happy to carry on the plan of sending the main battle group of his capital ships punching through the hole we'd made. From what I gather, he did a really reasonably good job of decimating the heretic fleet, but he left us for dead. Even after the engagement, he never sent anyone to recover us. We were hoping to get towed out of the warp rift, but we were trapped there for, well, I don't even know how long. Weeks, maybe, but it's the warp. You all know how time flows in the warp, right? He just continually takes swigs of his whiskey as he tells his story, just getting more and more dour as he tells it.
Are you going to get Nucker in as a voice actor shortly?
I'll get Nucker in as a voice actor for Lord Strike so he can do the angry Scottish Black Legion man. Yeah.
On my glass!
Yep.
Oh my glass!
And, well, things just got worse and worse. The denizens of the warp decided to pay us a visit. He looks over to you, Jimmy. You remember what that was like, don't you, Jimmy?
Yeah, yes, sir, I do.
It's not something you forget, is it?
No, it's not, sir.
No, it certainly
You hear
isn't.
them too?
What was it? Half my crew within the first few days. Then there was a quarter left, maybe. I've tried to block it out, honestly. It's
Yes, sir. It was a quarter.
Yes. But then we left the rift. Fortunately, I don't know how. Maybe it was the Emperor, maybe it was other ruinous powers. But we managed to find a way out the rift. I don't know if any other ships made it out, but we certainly did. And then, well, the word bearers found us. You remember that, don't you, Jimmy? When that dark acolyte came across us. Dark apostle, I should say.
Yes, sir.
And then, of all the indignities, he handed us over to that Lord Cyrus. Lord Cyrus. What a retard.
That I wouldn't do.
I can feel
Well, I'm sorry, my
I
friends, for burdening.
tried to read his mind once. Didn't work. There wasn't much to read.
Diller laughs his ass off when you say that. Like, really badly. You're like, I concur, my dear. I concur. No mind at
Imperium
all
was-
for strategy.
Imperium always goes on and on. Like, open minds like an open book. His is like a fucking pamphlet at best. Somehow you put on the back. Something you could fit on the back of a postage stamp, given enough time.
Amen.
Imperium, Chaos, we're always led by the least of us.
Oh, indeed. Well, as horrible as our situation is right now, at least he's not
we
around
have the pleasure
anymore.
of getting. At least we have that pleasure.
Indeed. I suppose the question is, does any of you want to take charge of this vessel, or are you all happy to lead it as a group?
What would you mean by take charge?
Put it
My
this way.
seniority.
Put it this way, my dear. I've been a captain of a vessel for many years now. But I'm happy enough to follow you people under your command. You've proven yourselves certainly more capable than Lord Cyrus.
You people.
I can run the ship.
Can
You
I
tell us what to do.
can I make a stealth check to see if I can put my hand on my weapon just stealthily so no one
Yes.
notices?
Yes, you may. By the way, Dom, you have a Ripper gun now. I've decided that's that's your main weapon now. It's kind of better than the shotgun. And
Okay.
I've
With the
modified
suspensor
it.
field.
Yeah.
Oof.
Do you need me to roll?
Okay, how do I do that roll? Just by typing in?
Can't you check the macro?
Dom's on his
What?
projector, so you might have to do it.
Can you not see your mouse
Yeah,
at that
sorry.
distance?
No, I have my mouse. I'm in where you type on the chat.
Alright. Put in /R 1D100 and I'll compare it on your stats.
Not got sleight or hand or stealth as trained skills. You're doing it at -20.
Oof. I'm gonna give you a +20
I
though
could
because
just take the
everyone's
macro if you want.
Yeah. I'll give you a +20
Yeah,
as well
please.
because
Oh,
everyone's
sorry, dude.
wasted.
Yeah.
So, +20, you say. Is that an additional +20 or just a flat +20?
As in like a +20. So basically it's gonna be a neutral test because he doesn't have it trained.
Neutral test, cool. Well, I
Yes.
got a neutral test, Dom.
Jimmy, you managed to put your hands on your weapon, and as far as you can tell, no one's noticed.
Hey.
Cool.
Well,
I didn't bring a weapon in here.
she, Johanna, after hearing that he asks if anyone wants to take control of the ship, she will just say, I don't know much about ships. I think either Lord Cyclops or Lord Nola would probably serve better.
It's all the same to me, darling. I'm happy to run the ship. I just want to know who's going to be leading this show.
Don't take this personally, Lord Cyclops, but I see you more as the Grand Vizier type.
I would be honored to lead this vessel.
It is always useful to have a commander who can shrug off bolt shells.
Indeed, it was useful to have somebody to take the bolt shells first.
Lord,
Gentlemen
you know,
and ladies, and abominations of the warp. We think the best
Monstrum.
course of action it is for the moment to give my junior colleague the command. I think in the end, we will all discuss the merits of our ideas where to go next.
Monstrum will remember this.
as far as things go, you Monsterman, you Cyclops are the only two of you Marines I can trust as far as I can throw you, and that ain't far. That's more than I can afford to any other cocksucker who happens to be wearing power armor. So that's good by my books.
I hate to be
Sir,
frank,
you
but
were the
can
one-
you actually even pick either of us up?
No, you weigh like half a ton. But the point is there. You know, it's just a turn of phrase. You
And
two
you-
want to go for it, I'll back you.
And was it like there was a guy in my cult that could pick up a space marine and throw him. He was just like
Pull him back to the dry docks. We fix what we can, and we try to find supplies that we lack. After that, it'll be much easier to decide.
Well, from the casualty estimates, we have 50% more food than anticipated. So it's something.
So it seems
That's
that-
rookie numbers.
Okay.
Look around. We have
Ursula?
100% more food.
Ursula is officially head of logistics.
Oh dear.
Oh boy.
what happened?
Let's face it, boys and girls. Who here has eaten corpse starch? Possible raise his hand.
Johanna will raise her hand.
I don't know.
I
Probably.
I feel
Did you
like
eat those
Everybody
bars
raises
that are
their
in the
hand.
ration packs?
I feel like pasta's probably
Yeah.
done as well.
Anyone who's been in the Imperial Guard has 100% eaten corpse starch.
Mhm.
But anyone who's lived in a hive has eaten corpse starch.
Johanna raises her hand.
I've not served in the Imperial
Most
Guard.
people who have drunk Amasec have eaten corpse starch.
Anyone else Imperial vet here? Nice.
I have a question for you regarding the
Most people don't like to talk about it.
the people aboard the ship.
I got that.
Stu?
Yeah.
I just had a question. We've seen a navigator, like the navigator string. Have we seen an actual astropath anywhere?
You have not as of yet. However, there are one or two on the ship.
Good. Because being a telepath psyker, I technically can do it, but it's difficult.
What were you thinking? You're sending a message through the warp?
Nah, it was just in case. It was needed.
Okay.
I've heard
So it's good
stories
to have a
about
backup. It's good to have
astropaths.
a backup.
Yeah, generally they take like 5 or 6 with them on any trip, just in case one of them explodes.
Take a
And
second
then-
pass just in case.
Crack it open and
Take a
cold
six pack.
I'm going to very quickly have a piss, so be amongst yourselves for a moment, and I'll wait until I come back.
Yes, sir.
Mods are asleep. Post weep shit.
Post Fat Beagle.
Yes, Fat Beagles, please.
Let's check in on the chat. The chat has said. Sorry, I just read that as strategic ass eating. Strategic ass scratching. Okay, that's a very different thing.
Is it?
Resource of the Imperium are bodies.
Unironically, yes.
I mean, unironically, I feel like Lozzie is getting a grasp of the system faster than like 90% of the people out there.
Lozzie is getting any of the replies.
Lozzie went from they won't fire on their own men to they are literally eating corpses all the time. Like,
Pretty
tiny
much.
alert.
And now Lozzie is a fine veneer across Nullus.
Oof.
Hmm.
You
Just,
could not
uh,
make that sound more
Hold
sexually
on.
nefarious.
That's not canon. I just emptied her into a couple towels.
You didn't make it sound any better. And now this conversation is canon.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You ain't making it sound any better, you know. You're not really helping your case with that phrasing. I get that
Oh,
the finer
shit.
points of terminology are not the strong point of Space Marines,
So,
but come on, put some effort in.
so from a logistical
By the
side,
way, is
apparently
there-
that's now my job. Did you
is
throw
there
her out of
anything
a
stronger
functioning
than-
airlock, or just like a hole in the side of the ship?
Oh.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Okay. Next time you're doing that, if you can get a bit less of a blood rage, that helps.
Well, it's not like
Also,
anyone
there's
here
bits
really
of her
cares.
stuck in your hair still. Pretty sure that's a
I mean-
finger.
If you can both dispose of a body and get favor from Corn, I mean,
I
come
was
on.
wondering. I was wondering if that eyeball on one of those spikes on your shoulder was decorative or not. It looks suspiciously like the elf bitches though, so I think it's not.
On an OC point, we're going to get told
It's
off. by
decorative now.
So, I'm technically well enough to continue with my duties, and have spent most of the last day or so being really bored and talking to our doctor. So, if you need any help, I'm hopefully going to be able to remember how to do the things he told me. Don't have much practice though.
Stu, can you put the NPCs I sent you onto the screen?
Is it
Well,
back yet?
I guess for the medic team. For Norgal.
He's currently stepped away, I believe.
Yeah.
There is something stronger than ethanol nullus. It's called Fenrisian Ale, and it is a alcohol brewed by the Space Wolves chapter.
It might be difficult to get.
How rare is it?
Extremely potent concoction distilled from the fermentation of native plants on Fenris. Highly alcoholic and toxic, it is one of the few beverages that can actually intoxicate Anastartes, managing to bypass their impressive bioengineering resistance to such toxic substances.
I would say near unique because it can only be found on Fenris.
So unless you happen to knock over some space wolves,
Boys, I know our next target.
No.
and so
Booze for the booze god!
Don't risk
Booze
rebellion,
for the
just
booze
yes.
god! We have to go get some fucking booze!
I
Commander
feel like that would be
Monstrum.
a bad idea.
Monstrum, you are the new commander. I will follow you into the Eye of Terra.
You know,
That
we
is
can
very
just
foolish.
Fenris is not being higher terror.
add that poison to regular alcohol, right? It'll paralyze your little kidney.
Concern. Monstrum. I'm sure we should talk to our various associates as well, but there are several recently vacant suits of power armor that might be available to swap in and out for any less damaged pieces or higher quality pieces to supplement your own suits. I imagine none of the components will be on par with those of my my good associates Cyclops. However, Monstrum, they might serve you if they're not too full of holes. But we can
See,
fix
this
those.
is why I made you head of logistics.
Yeah. I probably shouldn't be doing heavy lifting with the amount of stitches and stuff at the moment, but I'm sure you can assist where required.
I'm back.
I mean, we could get a forklift.
I mean, we could, but I could
I am
just
a
try the bits and pieces on where they fell.
Case in point.
I'm also technically a forklift, however. I don't think the doctor would appreciate it if I have to go back to get repairs instead of just stitches.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, I have returned. As the evening winds to a close and gets a little late, First Officer Dillard kind of groggily gets up and is like, "Well, my lords, I will be retiring to bed. Good night for now. I will see you tomorrow."
I'll be retiring from meditation because I don't need much sleep.
Yeah, that is true. Starries don't need a lot of sleep.
Stu, I think somebody's trying to notice something.
Oh.
No,
No? Okay.
I'm just sustaining a psychic power.
Yes. Guys.
Okay.
For some reason, the corporal is
Icon's
really
got
wide.
small. Yeah. That's whoa. There you go, you fucks off.
Stu, can you put the NPCs I sent you?
Oh yeah, I'll change their artwork around actually. I'll do that. Because we've got them.
Can you put them on the screen?
Yeah. Okay. Chat, this is artwork for John Marine and for Jane. There we go. The two NPCs that were
Concern.
captured in previous sessions. Yep.
Nice.
And we have Ursula's personal maid.
Okay. What would you folks like to do now? Are you going to carry on drinking for a bit, or?
Boy.
My character is going to
Heavy-
enjoy the mix of catnip and alcohol.
Have they brought in the John and the others?
Oh shit! Yeah, I should have said. What was it? Where's John? There he is.
Jane, I believe, is still unconscious.
I'm going to change John's artwork now. I had that as a placeholder.
Nice.
What's that?
Perfect.
Oh yeah.
Can you put the other NPC, not the fucking Jane, but the other?
Yeah. I'm just going to change that around.
You see what they sent you?
Yeah, the blue one, right? Yeah.
No, the red one above that.
I saw. the
Oh yeah, the ritualist one. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'll show that for peeps as well. Hold on. There we go. That is Ritz. Oof.
He's Ursula's personal maid and a chef for the ship.
Oh right.
For the
You
elite
made a
part of the
chef?
Oh boy.
Quick, take the road.
Alright, hold on. Just...
This was the. I remember John, that one Marine who lasted way longer than he was supposed to.
Oh yeah.
He dragged that man out so long.
He was a good boy.
Come here,
Now he's a
John,
better
drink with
boy.
us.
Yeah, give me a moment. I'll just download all this artwork. Yeet.
I think at this point in the evening we're just kind of scrambling over what loot there was.
Yeah, I was gonna say
plasma gun.
if you.
It's a job for the morning, but it's congealed.
Okay. Do you guys want to like go to bed, or is there something else you want to do before you retire for the evening?
Johanna, I'm going to make a charm check at John.
John Marine. Okay.
Hold on, I'm going to do a feathered psychic check.
I whisper to John, don't fall for the pottery.
I look
Do not
at
believe her
John.
lies.
I look at John with a serious.
Oh boy.
Oh damn.
I
Yeah.
look at John and I just shake my head really slowly.
He looks behind the thought, and it's just all of us shaking our heads.
Okay, so I need to make a oppose willpower, isn't that right? For the
No, this is not a mind control. This is just the one that gives me a bonus to charm.
yes, yeah, I remember that. It's used on Saturn Winter as well.
7. Target 75.
Oh fuck!
And you're still fucking up.
Oh!
So basically, you buff yourself
Waist
up with
coughed
this.
up lung.
Yeah, like you buff yourself up with the psychic presence to, psychic powers to make yourself more alluring.
He's gay.
And then you sweet talk him, and he just kind of looks blankly at you like, big on thought. I've had enough to drink for now.
These aren't goblins.
You're not a Christian.
I just pick up a good bottle and I give it to John. The good stuff.
John's like, oh, I appreciate that. And he just downs the whole fucking bottle.
God,
Say
you will go far.
We should get him a tattoo.
Johanna isn't even.
Just get him a big Yakuza tattoo.
You turn him into a cross. Yakuza.
Johanna isn't even disappointed. She's just impressed. This man has the will of iron.
Yeah. I've just realised that I don't think he's
Wow,
failed a
or you
single
have skills
intimidate
of
thing.
a will like iron and a dick like rope. Just no, be gone. I am no interest in this.
Honestly, Gren, you would have had more luck trying to charm First Officer Dillard, to be honest.
In fact,
He
you
was
might have gotten
wasted.
him by proximity.
Like, he was wasted as fuck.
He just fucking bust a nut in his sleep.
Sure one.
Wait, really? You want to go find him?
He's the one who's currently here, right?
Oh no, this is
Okay,
John.
let's-
Dillard's wandered off. I mean, to be fair, you could probably catch up with him. He probably isn't moving very
He's
fast.
very drunk.
Yeah,
He
sure.
cannot run very fast.
Yeah, sure. Fucking.
He's currently
I've got.
face down in the corridor, pushing himself along with his feet.
Okay, I'll put
Yeah,
him.
sure. I'm gonna find First Officer Dillard.
Okay, there you go. You're in the
Crawling
top
along
corner
with a
there.
rat in its mouth.
Jesus Christ.
He thinks that gravity's
That's what I was
forsaken him.
He's gonna
Do I
make
get any
a.
bonus to this?
Yeah, you get like a plus 30.
Yeah.
Suddenly, Jimmy comes back to himself. He went into another fugue, and he doesn't do anything. He doesn't start screaming. No one notices, but his eyes started twitching.
Yeah. Oof.
Okay, so yeah.
Did Jimmy drink,
I'm
by
guessing-
the way?
Yeah, Jimmy drank
Alright,
as
good.
much as everyone else.
Fair enough. Yeah, yeah, you succeed on the charm test, Gren. I'm just gonna roll his willpower for the sake of this. Just see how he feels about this.
I hope he rolls a 1. Just a cock block. Just a beaver damn you.
I'm going to roll him with a minus
you can
20.
see, how it flies from the corridor.
Yeah, he's somewhat intrigued, Gren, by your charm. What do you actually say to him, by the way?
Oh, I
I'm
just.
gonna suck your dick, boy.
Just gonna roll awareness to see if I notice the twitch.
Oh,
Well, I'm just going to. Well, I just woke up behind him.
you want us to fuck? Oh no! I just love the crude. I love how crude that was.
I just woke up behind him, take him by the shoulder.
Yep.
And then I just say, "Hey
Bend
there. It's been a fairly bad day. Would you like to go relax some with me?"
Sure thing,
Be gone,
darling.
be
It's
gone, be gone, be gone. Be
not
gone.
like
I'm
I'm
not
doing
sure
much
knowing-
else.
I'm not sure
He's
if
like
you being a
really-
Well,
hero
how
makes it more or less
non-plastic
nefarious.
casual he is about this. So I
Yeah.
haven't got anything better to do right now. So
He's
you're
kind of
really like-
depressed. That's his gig,
You're
you see,
literally-
right now, because of all that's been happening. So,
Good. I know a nice
I need a new
place.
chair.
Follow
I
me.
need some new doors. For my
Yeah.
office.
Well, I'm going to make his
Someone
work.
spilled
I'm going
my
to try to
drink
make his
earlier.
day. I'm going to try to
I need
make
a-
his day a whole lot better.
cool.
I need like
Someone stole
500
my
more
hat.
cultists.
We are going to start making some.
Ooh.
We are rapidly running out of ammunition, and as time goes on in the warp, that statistic grows exponentially.
Oh, boy.
And thus, I engage in some Shaneshi worship with First Officer Dillard.
You do
I bet
indeed.
he's thinking about other Slaneshis.
Okay.
What'll happen if
What
the
do the
king
rest of
feels
you
better?
guys end up doing?
I was rolling
I-
for awareness.
Yes.
I continue to drink protein.
I think she's doing the same thing as you there.
So, Ziv, what were you rolling
Noah-
awareness for, specifically?
Nola,
I was
Nola
rolling awareness
sighs.
to check if I
Nola
noticed.
sighs. Nola sighs and says, "Another brother has been lost this time."
Commander, yeah, 3 Space Marines at least were killed today.
Oof.
Yeah,
Those
but
are
Well,
brothers.
I'm currently driving around. I'm not even driving. I'm more like attempting to skateboard using a motorcycle in first gear and just dragging 3 suits of power armor behind me. Yeah, I'm getting paid tonight.
Oh, yeah.
A bottle of Amasec in one hand, 3 glow sticks in the other, driving with my feet
I think
Wait,
so.
do you
What?
drive
Like,
your
they
bike
will
all the way to
die.
bed? Is that what you do?
Oh,
to get
hell
out to
yeah.
you?
Fucking walking back.
You've got a sidecar as well, so you can just lie down in it.
Yeah,
I
one
think
of the
Ji-
power
Jimmy-
suits is in the sidecar badly. It's not even like
I
wedged
think-
properly.
Like
I think
upside down.
Pastafari. I think
Yeah.
Pastafari wanted to do
Yeah,
something.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ziv, you notice his twitchy. Jimmy's twitchy eye.
Okay. I walk up to him, pat him on the shoulder, and say, "It's okay, brother. We all have traumas."
Oof. Still there, Dom?
Jimmy just starts laughing. Jimmy just starts laughing.
Oh boy.
Jimmy just starts laughing and he's like, yeah, you're fucking right.
Welcome to support group chaos.
That is pretty much what this is.
God, I love cigarettes.
Uh,
Just cruising down the hallways in first gear, dragging suits of power armor on my motorcycle. Low
Now you
up
see.
each nostril, double fisting bottles of amateur.
Now you see, chaos may be overall worse for humanity, but goddamn, it's fun.
We were chaos worshippers once, now we're something worse, something more grotesque.
oof.
Jimmy wants
For
to,
USA!
Jimmy wants to head off. Jimmy wants to head off by himself to one of the like cultist like preachers and like just see if he can find out about Zinch. He's interested in Zinch.
Okay. Do you
I,
want?
I give Jimmy totally random directions I can think of the top of my brain.
Yes,
No,
Dom.
Jimmy knows this ship like the back of his hand.
Jimmy looks at his hand.
Can I do a perception? Can I do it? Can I do a new?
Noah-
Can I do a perception check to know where the fuck I'm going?
Yes, I'm gonna give you plus 20 because you know the ship on the back of your hand, and also because Ritualist gave you some hints of where to go as well.
I gave him wrong hints.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna say that's still minus 20 for the initial roll. Because normally it'd be like plus 30, considering how long you spent on the ship.
Monstrum is gonna go to the bridge because, like, that's my job now, I guess. So.
Okay,
How-
you're not
how do I
sleeping,
roll?
take it. Are you even hurt, Nellis?
do
I
I roll?
forgot. Dom,
I don't remember.
go on awareness and just put in 20 when it gives you modifier.
Right.
Yep. Nellis, let me... I don't think you were hurt at all during... Actually, no. I think you were hurt, now that I think about it.
Can we just assume that I got patched up by the
Yeah, because you healed like 4 wounds when you were all getting extended cares for the first day, so that's probably enough. There you go. Okay.
Where is awareness?
I presume you will retire for the evening in that case, if there's nothing else.
I go to show John his place and something to eat before we continue to meditate.
Cool. So
Welcome
he's-
to chaos now,
and,
boy.
and I just give him a speech. There will be no imperial bullshits for some time, so keep yourself straight. You'll be fine. Don't try anything stupid. There is always people watching. You know, that kind of shit.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, I think it's...
What do I do?
Yeah, 50. So, you get about 3 or 4 degrees success, Dom. You find a preacher among the cultists. And you may talk to him about whatever you wish.
Hey, dude, I'm here. Like, I know that there's like 4 chaos gods,
Huh.
but you know Zinch. You know anything about that? Like,
The changer of ways, brother. You seek his knowledge, eh?
Yeah, that guy. That guy.
Well, Tzeentch is a tricky one to understand, brother. There are many layers to his plots and plans. What
Yeah, he is a
specifically would
tricksy
you like
one.
to know? Yes, he is indeed.
How I get me some of that?
Well, Tzeentch is probably one of the hardest gods to gain favour with. You need to show remarkable cunning and ingenuity and, well, perception
How
of the bigger
about I
picture.
just become a? Yeah, but dude, how about I just become a organizer for slaughters, and I use the kind of tricksy ways of Tzeentch, but to organize slaughters for corn.
An interesting move, brother. Not only do you...
Well, you know what I could do? You know what I could do? You know what I could do? Oh, I just came up with a really smart idea. Jimmy has a really big, stupid smile on his face. He just. He's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to become a Tzeentchian cultist who opens up a theme park. I open up a theme park for all the cultists. They're gonna love it. It's gonna be fun times. There's gonna be stuff for the guys. That's some weird shit. There's gonna be like slaughter pits, corn. Then there's just gonna be a big pile of shit for Nurgle. So everyone got food. So and then the Tzeentch people can be like, hey, look at all these idiots.
Ah, brother, that is a lofty goal to attain for. What I would suggest is you...
God, dude, what do I need? What do I need? I need a planet? That's
Oh,
it.
You...
Fucking hell.
You would...
Dom's character has just taken over Lossie's goal of finding the circus.
The ride never ends.
Stu,
What's a
does
circus?
Can preacher roll memory to remember what I said on the intercom earlier today?
to remember what, sorry, Richless?
To educate Jimmy.
Yes, he can roll...
To educate.
He's gonna roll... he's gonna try and make a roll to tell you what you would need to do to, like, you know, be more in Tzeentch's good graces.
No.
I'm gonna give him a plus... No, I'll give him plus 15. 20's a bit too generous for this, because he's not... You gotta bear in mind, this guy is basically just a fucking... what do you call it? A regular cultist that has a little bit more knowledge than the rest of them. Like, he's nowhere near being a Dark Acolyte or Dark Apostle, so... Okay, Dom, he tells you, like, brother, you would most likely need a world. And, well, I suppose you would need to find followers of Tzeentch and get them to your cause. Besides that, I am at a loss to explain what you would need to do to gain his favor. He is such a enigmatic god.
And scenes just it's just up in heaven. It's just up in heaven, like saying.
I don't just need Tzeentch. I could also use the help of all the other gods.
Scenes is just up in like fucking. It's just floating around the warp, looking at all this unfold. He's just like, just according to Keikaku.
No, Tzeentch is seeing this and is visibly uncomfortable. He's just like, nah.
Okay,
Nah, I ain't touching that.
Sorry to interrupt the proceedings, but Ritualist has more lovely art for us. This is John Marine saying "begone thought" to Johanna.
Alright, be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I'll bring that up in the morning because that'll be interesting.
It might, if he wears his carapace under it.
We might be able to restructure it
I bet
slightly,
it remains.
or at least add padding.
Alright, so yeah, Jimmy, he basically just says, like, brother, well, it sounds like you need the favor of all the gods to accomplish this plan. But other than that, I can't help you. Other than, may I suggest, follow what all the gods desire. In equal measure.
So what do you seek in life? I seek to become the greatest slaughterer of corn. I seek to become the most powerful mage. I seek to create a festival.
Everyone's going undivided, apparently.
All hail Chaos Lord Walt fucking Disney.
Pretty fucking much. Oh, Jimmy's just going to become Walt Disney now.
Jimmy is Walt.
This is nightmarish.
Okay.
The greater demon Walt Disney.
Okay.
And his
Summoning the demons of Mickey.
and his strongest.
Skull for the skull throne!
Blade of Disneyland.
Just the greatest of Mickey's servants, fucking Goofy the Destroyer.
Nah, man, Goofy Sinashi, goofy fucks.
Oh my.
Guilty fucks.
Alright. Okay. I think at this point you will retire for the evening.
Does
Okay.
John have any insightful question or comments for me?
Not really.
The
He's
audience
just
has-
kind of like.
Or is he
I-
just
I-
beaten?
Yeah, he's just like, I appreciate the quarters, my lord. It's a step up from the cell I was in, certainly. And he just kind of goes to bed along with the rest of you. Okay. Iona,
Yes.
as you're, well, I suppose you're in fucking Delar's bed pretty much after your degeneracy.
Yeah.
During the night, you have a dream.
Oh no.
You're kind of just wandering through this beautiful garden. It's pristine. It's full of all the flowers you could think of. It's almost overwhelming how many they are. In fact, it almost seems like this is all the flowers in the galaxy are just in this perfect garden. There's water flowing. There's birds tweeting. It's picturesque. And what do you do, Gren?
Well, as she's walking through the garden, stunned at the sheer beauty, because she comes from a hive world and has never, in fact, seen real vegetation before.
Mm-hmm.
So she basically goes down to pick up some flowers and smell them.
Make a perception check at +10.
Awareness?
Yep.
Okay. That is 2 degrees of success
Yep.
plus an additional 2 because I'm still sustaining that one ability I
Uh-huh.
have. So 4 degrees of success.
So, Johanna takes a smell of the flowers. At first, they smell very sweet and very beautiful, but the longer you start to smell them, you notice there's this horrible, wretched, rank smell combined with them. And it's very peculiar. It's like half of this flower smells beautiful and picturesque. The other half is just vile and decadent and just full of refuse. And it confuses you because it's like, it's so good, but it's so bad at the same time.
First of all, she's surprised she can actually smell it. Her sense of smell was destroyed a few years ago. You see.
Oh yeah, you can still smell it though, surprisingly enough.
Mm-hmm. So she's going to just look around
Okay.
after that.
As you walk through the garden, you notice a fountain with a statue in the middle. It is this beautiful female figure just sort of doing this kind of elegant pose in the garden over the fountain. As
Do
you...
I
Yeah, go on.
do I recognize the figure depicted in some
Not
way?
really, it's just very, again, like the rest of this garden, it's just very picturesque and quite striking.
Okay.
Yeah. As you look closely at the statue, it slowly comes to life and looks at you, Gren.
I'm gonna take a step back.
Okay. And it just speaks to you in this sweet voice, like, "Ah, sister, you've proven yourself quite well in the eyes of the Dark Prince." He has decided to bestow upon you a gift for your efforts. It's no mean feat to shut out a Lord of Change from taking your mind and body.
She's kind of stunned.
Where do you see yourself going from here?
I don't know. I suppose I wish to. I just wish to live
Live
without all these voices.
without the voices, eh?
Or at the very least, live with voices who are on my side.
You wish to be selective of what you hear. It is quite the gift the Dark Prince gave you. I think it will take some time to master fully. I suggest you... Yeah, carry on.
No, just to continue.
Okay. I would suggest you continue your mastery of your abilities. As I said, it's quite the gift, and the Dark Prince would be very disappointed if you turned from the path that you have begun. Especially since he's about to give you a very great gift. He doesn't bestow very often.
Iona will bow somewhat to the statue, kind of starting to get down from the confusion and getting the situation somewhat. Yep. And she'll say, "I thank the Dark Prince for this gift, though I do not yet know precisely what it is."
Oh, you will know very soon. I bestow upon you the face of Slanesh. And the statue hops down and holds your face in its hands and looks at you very intently, and its face is just transformed to this hideous visage. It's the most horrifying thing you've ever seen in your life. And you just, well, it's up to you how you react to this. Like,
When she first saw her face in the statue's hand, she was going to reflexively take her own, feel around her own face with her hands.
Yeah.
It's not there, is it?
Well, you're trying to hold the statue's face.
No, no, no. I tried. She reflexively reached up to feel her own face to see if it was still there.
It's still there, but it's you don't. It doesn't feel like your own face anymore. It feels like liquid almost, malleable, shall we say? Constantly just shifting its visage. It's almost like you can think what your face will be and it will become that. Meanwhile, the statue is just still very intently staring at you with its horrible visage. It occasionally flickers to the pleasant visage once again. And back and forth.
Johanna going to, as she's staring, first reflexively take another step back, but before she puts her heel in the ground, she's going to kind of steel herself and try to lock eyes with this terrifying visage. And she's going to say, if that's what the Dark Prince desires, then I accept.
We are pleased. Gren, roll me a d5. Oof.
One.
Yeah.
Roll me another d5.
4.
Gren, you receive 1 corruption point and 5 infamy points.
Damn.
You did back down and managed to lock eyes with a visage of Slanesh itself in your dream.
Okay.
You slowly, just everything becomes to black after this happens, and you wake up very shaken in Lord Diller, in fucking First Officer Diller's bed, like, and it seems quite early in the morning, so at least in terms of shipboard time.
The first thing she does as she wakes up, and of course she wakes up, shivering somewhat.
Yeah.
Is she's going to look to the first reflective surface in the room? What do I see?
Well, it's not what you were expecting. Your face is just this strange visage. It's much like what you saw in your dream.
The
Really,
pleasant, you mean the pleasant, beautiful face and...
the horrifying one as well, yeah. It just changes and fluctuates slightly, but you feel like if you focus enough, especially with your psychic will added on top of that, you can kind of force the face to take on whatever visage you wish at the time. So I'm presuming you, practice this a little bit while you're awake, I suppose. Dorot's still sleeping. He's fucking wrecked as fuck. He's going to be sleeping for a while, so...
Well, after that, Johanna is just going to get dressed, and after staring in wonder and fright at her own face for a little bit, is going to exit and start heading towards, I don't know, the mess hall or the bridge.
Yep, sounds good. You don't even leave Diller to know.
No, why should I? He's sleeping.
He's happier this way.
Exactly.
He'd rather forget.
What you think this is my first rodeo, boy?
Shit.
And with that, I'm gonna have to BRB.
Okay, I'm just gonna
There is
shit.
more on it.
Yeah, I'm just about to shit the chat. This is Jimmy's great plan. Building a theme park for the gods.
Never right.
Look at those
shit.
goofy tits.
Oof. I love that little fucking cultist in the corner there just preaching about us.
Like what?
What is this? Even this is too
Correct
degenerate for me.
The correct levels of visible discomfort.
Okay.
Fucking- Oh, this is great. That's a good picture, man.
Okay.
Yeah, Jimmy.
You are now back on the bridge. Nullis is sitting on the throne, apparently.
Fucking bastard.
I'm gonna say each
Sure didn't
morning.
waste any time.
Each morning you make your way to the bridge just to get status reports and stuff. Presumably you'll have like a quick meal in your quarters before you set out, so. Or in the mess hall, whatever. It's more suitable.
Still had Cheerios.
I had cornflakes. Beat everyone else to it. Fuck you all. Fuck you all. Beat you to it.
Okay.
Basically, I spend my days trying to bring ship in order and to convert the remaining power armor into something a human can wield.
Okay. Dillard.
Jimmy is currently on patrol.
Alright. Dillard makes his way to the plinth. He looks a little groggy, but still manages to maintain a somewhat dignified persona as he walks over to his console and takes his place.
I have to head off for 2 seconds. BRB.
No worries. So, what do you guys want to do today?
Well, I thought basically the idea was to
Oh yeah, loot the
fixing the
bodies.
ship.
Time to hand out the goodies.
Yes.
Yeah, basically. Let's check out the loot.
Okay. I believe Skog and one or two other people. I think Gren's BRB. Right. I shall bring forth the corpses.
It's cleaning day.
Yeah. Okay. What would you like to look at first? I would suggest the Stormtrooper gear first, as that'll be a little bit easier to go through.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. The status of the ship. Okay. Ritualist, the status is much the same as it was yesterday after the battle. Repairs are still underway. Velena is doing her best, but without a dry dock, there's not really much can be done while you're in warp transit.
We can shore up any internal structures, like, seal any void-torn areas. Hopefully.
Kick out any unwanted demons that are not ours.
Yeah, make sure we've not got any Imperial stowaways who had the misfortune of getting fucked with, like getting stuck in here.
I'll tell you what.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay,
Didn't we have a hangar
Ritualist.
we were meant to be checking out at one point. Was that an option?
That will
Did they
come
leave?
a bit later on, but what I'll say is...
That was meant to be vaguely icy, never mind.
No worries. Ritualist, make me a logic test at +20.
Testus.
If you have logic trained. I don't know if you do or not.
Yeah, I don't have, so
Ye-
I have
Can he be assisted?
scrutiny and security.
Make either of them.
Well,
Nullus, you are Oof. Oof. Okay. As far as you can tell, actually, no, I'll say Jimmy's assisting you and make that a success. So, pretty much nearly all the Imperials have been cleared out. Not that many of them landed on the ships, and any significant ones that did land got yeeted by your squad previously, so any resistance that is remaining is being quickly mopped up by Jimmy and his boys, and some of the cultists are helping out too, so resistance is not something you have to worry about too much on the ship. You can pretty much walk through most of the corridors safely.
But there is a lot of ship to go through.
There is indeed, so I wouldn't say let down your guard entirely, but it's not too much of an issue at the moment.
Yeah,
Don't
I said
walk
that.
around with a heavy machine gun, is what you're saying.
Without this heavy machine guns.
Okay. Let us have a look at the loot. I will go through what the stormtroopers have firstly. Okay. One of the stormtroopers has a power blade, first of all. Does anyone want a power blade?
If no one else wants it, I'll happily take it. It'll be a nice alternative to my axe.
I was say power blades seem to be in the category of if no one else wants it, I'll have it.
I will say there is about 3 power blades up for grabs. From the
I'll
for
stick
everyone
to my
here.
chainsword.
Does anybody want to keep a track of stuff we have extra, like on the pile?
Yeah, there is a bunch of grenades also in
I
the
guess
pile,
I'll
but I
do
won't
that.
bother too much with them because what I'll say
Let the
is,
logistics person do it.
yeah, like the quartermaster will mostly look at the grenades and stuff, and like basically he'll just hand you them if you ask for them. But he'll, catalog all that stuff.
Journal.
But this is
Additional
mostly
journal
significant
page, right,
weapons and
so-
gear you find.
Power sword. Regular.
Power
Yeah,
blade is the short version.
Oh,
Okay.
power
It's a
blade.
knife.
yeah,
It's basically a knife.
yeah. I'll give you the stats for it.
it.
Power
No,
blade.
I don't intend to use it. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Power blade is 1d10 plus 3.
Yep.
Energy type. It has a pen of 5 and has the power field special rule. Okay,
Correct the spelling on every single word there, including the word pen, apparently.
okay, here's something a bit more significant. There is a power sword up for grabs. As in a
Again,
human-sized power sword.
If nobody wants it, can I use parts to cannibalize it, basically to reduce the fucking impact from the axe? So it's just all hits and not yeets in my face.
So what you're saying is you want to make a power halberd.
Ooh.
So,
Or
sort of. Basically, I want to have extra parts when I repair the axe.
What I would
Because
say...
still we talk about this.
Oh yeah.
There was one power sword left.
There is one human power sword up for grabs. What I'll say, Ritualist, is with the help of some people, you could, if you don't like the Stormfield upgrade, you could potentially uninstall it from your axe with a bit of work.
But we talked about something changing it to just be so it overheats.
yeah, just
I mean, if
add,
nobody
add,
else
add
wants
a
it,
bunch more heat sinks.
Yeah,
if
if you
nobody else... Sorry.
Oh, right.
basically we talked. If we cannot change that, so I can remove it. But we.
Are you thinking improving it more so it doesn't overheat as much? Is that what you're suggesting?
Yeah, basically just not, it can still like overheat at 90 to 100 roll, but it used to be that it just explodes in my face. I just want that removed.
Okay, you want the negatives mitigated somewhat.
Yeah.
So, some kind of emergency venting system in case of overheat.
If people are willing to do that, I will say that the power sword can be sacrificed in the
I-
names of that, if people are okay
I
with
would
I'm fine
like.
with it.
I would like to suggest that it's best we keep any good quality equipment as trade goods, which we can then trade for useful things that we don't have access to, and anything it's less in, say, poorer condition, we could then use to make new bits. Because honestly, we're going to have quite a long time. We could probably just make this stuff. I mean, how much copper pipe have we got on board? We can make
Copper
Speak-
Like, we don't need plumbing on all the decks.
Okay. I guess.
Basically, I can take the power sword for repairs.
Yeah.
Or,
If
you want it?
no
Yeah,
one else
nobody-
objects.
if nobody objects.
Yes.
Hmm.
Okay. Let's have a look. The sergeant also had a hot shot las pistol on him with 2 spare magazines.
So that's 2 shots.
It's a lot more than that, but yeah, if I look at it that way.
Yeah, these aren't
Oh,
only
yeah,
war hot shots where they are installed into a regular gun that then dump
Yeah.
the whole mag.
A hot shot las
yeah,
pistol
it's
has
the
a clip of 40 shots.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
it's the hot shot pack, not the hot shot
Yes.
gun that I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it's not the ammunition
Lad.
type, it's the actual gun that's been modified with the power pack.
I think this is
any
one of those
takers?
items in the if anyone, no one wants it category.
I
If
can
no one
give,
else wants it,
I can
then-
give the
Oh, well, I
stats.
already use a bolt pistol. So.
I can give the stats to somebody if they want it.
I can note them down or just keep it as a list of what we have for now if you want.
Yeah. Okay. It's pistol. 20-meter range. 1d10 plus 4 damage. Tis energy. Pen of 7.
Good grief.
It has single shot, 2-round semi-auto, and 0 full auto.
Cool.
Clip of 40. Reload is 2 full actions. And special rule, reliable.
Ooh. Quite hard to jam a las gun.
Yep.
And the plus side, if we get jumped on the ship, we can just plug it into the wall.
Yep. We'll set it on fire.
In addition, there are 2 hot shot las guns up for grabs. If anyone particularly wants them. Nope,
I'm just going
going
to keep an inventory of this, so if anyone changes their minds later, they can come and harass me for details.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think we'll put the I'm tempted by the hot shot weapons, mainly because my current main like side armaments, apart from the bunker rifle, is a bolt gun, which is great and all, but I don't really like using full auto. It's mainly
ammo
there for
supply
suppressive.
is tricksy.
Yeah. Whereas these things I can just plug into a wall.
Yeah, I might upgrade from my carbine.
Yeah. If you're running a
So-
carbine, get a hot shot.
Yeah.
I
Alright,
think
no,
I'll
no.
pass.
Prioritize the people who actually need it, for whom this is a straight up upgrade.
I have yet to use anything other than my heavy stubber so far.
I think this thing does more
It's a
damage
nice
than your stubber.
all-rounder. Possibly. What are the stats like?
Okay. It
Mr.
is
Luke
a
person?
basic weapon. It has 60-meter range. So it's actually fairly short range for a basic weapon, but
60 meters is a lot indoors.
1d10 plus 4 damage.
Cool.
Type is
Energy.
energy. Pen of 7, which is pretty good.
Single.
Single, 3-round semi-auto,
Yeah.
0 full auto.
Understandable.
Clip of 30.
Huh.
Reload.
That seems-
Yeah, the pistol does less damage, but has a bigger clip size, basically. And
No,
less
it
range.
doesn't. You said D10 plus 4 for both of them.
What I mean to say is rate of fire is more on the last gun.
Oh, yeah, rate of fire. So, one round reaction reload? Or is it
Two full for reload. And reliable
Reliable as
special
well?
rule.
Cool.
Pretty
Yeah, I'll
solid
probably
gun.
have one of those.
Okay. Let's see what else is there. Someone who's willing to make a logistics roll of sorts. Actually, someone make me a perception check at +10.
My
Awareness.
friend, have I got you. I got you, fam.
Perception and plus 10.
Yep.
That's 3 degrees of success.
Okay, someone roll me a d4. Congratulations, you have 6 demo packs now.
Damn.
Turn.
Damn, son.
Somebody write the
Damn,
shit
son,
down.
where'd you find
Okay.
this?
That was 6 demo packs, did you say?
Yes, in total.
This gives me.
I love
Well,
how
that's a
Skog has
standard,
turned
aren't
into the Devo, keeping track of all the items.
Hey, I got put in charge of logistics. I'm
Yeah.
dealing with this shit.
Pretty much. He got put in charge of logistics by a space marine. You fucking listen.
Okay, you all have a bunch of respirators as well, but I think you all have them now anyway, so there's more. There's 3.
They can go in the box.
Yep.
We got replacements.
I forgot to mention there are 4 spare magazines for each of the hotshot las guns as well.
Ooh.
Where
Okay,
are
here's
the
what-
respirators with it?
Yep.
Those will be for when we're going on like raids and we want to keep like costs low.
And
Okay.
breathing.
here's another
The
thing.
Lasguns.
Oh, yeah.
Extra respirators are always good, you know.
There
Change
are
filters.
3 suits of good quality carapace armor up for grabs. They have
Some
7
dents.
armor points each.
I'm
That's
in.
full suits.
Good quality.
Yep.
What does John has?
John has light carapace, which is a 5-up save. Let me just double check that. I believe that's what he
Yeah,
has.
basically we are going to get him on.
Yeah, he's got light
Question.
carapace.
Carapace is the more solid form, or is it still the plate variant? So there's
It's
different types of armor. Just thinking logistically for my buff titties.
I'll
Like, I don't want to
say
have to wear 2 different sets.
if one of you has like trade armor, you can modify and repair the armor to make it
Yeah.
fit
I,
this.
I am the fucking armor.
There you go.
I am the armorer's assistant, who
I
apparently
would
has slightly better stats in certain things related to armoring, which is confusing.
That is an upgrade for me, quite frankly. But I'm not fussed because I don't get shot at for the most part.
Yeah, listen, basically I have
So,
armor,
any
I
of the-
have mechanicus, I have tech, I have a lot of things. So do you want
So
a
those-
cursed armor?
I would
I'm going to
say,
take
like,
one, sir.
Okay.
How would you like
good
to,
quality makes
if
it
we
better, doesn't
if we bind Lord Cyrus directly into your armor to wear him as a trophy?
Yeah. It's 7 all locations, isn't it?
It is indeed, yes.
Cool. I'm going to look swag.
Swag level reaches 100. Oof.
Right,
I'm
as,
getting here.
as a related point, we have some very nice suits of regular carapace armor available.
anyone unfortunate enough to be running flak.
That's the point.
What was
Yes.
I wearing?
Iona, you may as well take one of their carapace suits, their regular ones.
I'd like
Yeah.
carapace before now, so I now have regular.
Sure.
6 armor points in all locations.
I'll take all but the helmet.
Fair enough.
Or a helmet. Maybe take the helmet and just don't wear it.
Yeah, I'll do
There
that.
might be times when you're getting shot or like
You can
artillery
always take the
bombarded
helmet
where
off.
you don't need it.
Yeah.
You can always take the helmet off. You cannot put your head back on.
Yeah.
Or what you could do is we can just cut the top off it, so it's got like the brim that just goes so it keeps the back of your head fine.
Okay. On further note, there is a grenade launcher up for grabs.
Anyone but
Grenade
me actually
launcher?
proficient?
Hello.
Yeah. True.
Makes
It's
sense.
a heavy weapon,
If,
isn't it?
if nothing else,
No,
I
grenade
can-
launcher is a launcher weapon. It's a basic weapon.
Ooh, I think
Yes.
everyone's basic proficient, so
No, this is a basic sized, but it's from a launch category.
I'm
I'll
not professional now.
Is that like what the demo man has from Team Fortress?
Yes. It's a 6-shot revolving grenade launcher.
Yep.
In this case, I believe filled with crack rounds.
He initially had it filled with frag, and then he cycled the barrel to put some crack in. So, cycled the chamber, I should say.
So is that all the carapace suits have been taken?
Yeah, there are 3. I said 3 good quality ones.
So we now
71
have
points each.
3. What were you wearing, Bill? Just so I can keep tabs.
I'm currently wearing regular carapace.
Yeah, because I was
Yeah,
wearing light
same.
carapace.
Does anyone else want this before I nab it? Because I know there are other people in the party who are just running regular carapace as well, who are more frontliners than I am.
Whoever
I
gets
can
my
manage.
set will have it as a slightly higher armored class for 1 day.
Oof. Alright, so basically, Skog has 1. Do you want 1 pasta? Take it.
I wouldn't say no, but if somebody feels like they need more, then shit, go ahead.
Yeah.
Let's put it this way: who isn't gonna want a suit of power armor?
I think Jimmy would probably want a better suit of armor. But he's not here right now.
Yes.
So.
Give him a suit of power armor. just work on remaking it to human size.
Oh Jesus.
I think we'll go with Jimmy should probably have one of those for now, as he's more of a CQB type.
Yeah. So Jimmy has 7
We've
armor
got
points.
some marginally better suits kicking around of regular carapace.
Okay, Jimmy now has good quality carapace. Then
I've
Skog,
added the
and then pasta, I believe.
That was enough. Like
Have
carapace.
we, have we got one armor for John?
Oh, John. Do you want to give John some better armor?
Yeah, I think we thought we could give him one of the carapace armors, or have we used all for the party?
You can either give him.
I mean, I was going to say no because Sean could get one instead.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
In that
We're really
case-
spoiling this guy who we haven't managed to actually corrupt all that much.
Okay.
He's gonna be
why we're-
ours.
we need to keep
Something
him on our
has to-
side.
Something has to bite us in the ass.
Okay, so no for pasta, but yes for John. John now has good quality carapace, 7 armor points. Okay.
So is this good?
Stu, are you keeping statistics for John, or are we going to do that?
I have made him a basic template. The whole idea of this game is when you recruit companions, they get their own, you pick their stats. But for special cases like John and Jane, because you've taken the time to kind of specifically get a captive, I'll give them a better stat line that I've made basically for them.
Okay.
So when you actually buy the talent, I'll basically inflate it somewhat so you can take them on regular adventures. So.
Yay, adventures.
Yep.
So I heard 3 suits of power armor somewhere in that.
Yeah, I'm going to move on to the Astartes gear because I think we've... did you just put the grenade launcher down as it's in the pool?
Yeah.
Just
We
going
will
to
use it as
me.
required, but I don't think anyone needs it as a dedicated weapon at this point.
I have a slight idea for something for it to shall we say lessen the cost of running my rifle, and I post the image in the general chat. Let's just say it's an idea the Germans had that was very interesting, but it's something for the back burner.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm a pony. That's
All right.
Come on,
So let's move on to the Astari's gear. I'll start with the basic shit first. Okay, there are 9 magazines of bolter ammo up for grabs, spare mags. I guess we'll put that in the pile, and then if Nullis wants more ammo, he can have it.
Yeah.
What capacity are these mags? Is there's lots of variety.
They are 24 round mags, the Legion Bowlers.
I may need some of this to make more ammunition at some point.
That's fine. As I said, I would suggest you just add it collectively to the pool.
Yeah, it's in the pile.
Okay, there are 2 Legion bolt guns.
This is Legion bolter ammo as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice. So 2 Legion bolt guns.
This, if a human tries to use these without the right cybernetics or whatever, it will result in you counting as using a heavy weapon. So you actually need to brace to fire a Starry's bowler.
Oh, so I can fire one of those then?
Technically, yes. Although I believe the penalties still apply for not having the training to use one.
Yeah.
Unless you have the armorer talent.
I don't have the power. I'm assuming
Nullis wants a bolter pistol.
He wants the bolt gun, presumably, as he already has the bolt.
Yeah, he wants the bolter. The Legion bolter.
Gun. Yeah, I mean, it's up to you guys, but I don't see much of an issue with that.
I'm not going to stop the commander, no.
Who else is going to use the fucking thing?
He could dual wield them.
Does Ritualist actually have a gun?
I have a bolt pistol, but I'll probably take one bolt gun and use it as needed.
Okay.
For the time it can be needed.
There you go,
So
you
that's
both
the
have a
bolt guns
Legion.
dealt with.
I will tell you the statistics if you're both ready to put it in. First of all, Legion bolt gun. Class basic. Range.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Nullis says one sec. Is
Okay.
this in the book? Or is
Yeah.
this modified stats?
It's in the book, but yeah.
Cool.
Okay,
So I don't need to worry
bolt
about
gun.
writing it down for people.
Legion bolt gun. Basic. Range 100 meters. Damage 1d10 plus 9.
Ooh.
Type explosive. Pen,
Jesus Christ!
pen of 4. Rate of fire single. A semi-auto of 3. And a 0 full auto.
Whip.
Magazine size 24.
We have a pool of spare magazine. Take
Yep.
them as needed.
Yeah. Reload.
Just full, not one full. Special rules, tearing. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see what else there is. There is also 3 Legion combat knives. Does anyone want a Space Marine knife?
Knife.
You mean that big fucking sword?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take a knife.
Okay. I think you have one already, but I could be wrong because it's like a.
Oh, I have a
wordsmith.
pole
The weirdest thing about Space Marine equipment is definitely the fact that they pick up this massive fuck off sword and then they say, "Have you seen my knife?"
Yeah.
You call that a knife?
It's even a sword to them in scale.
Mm-hmm.
Like machete sized to them.
Okay. If you want the stats of the knife, it's very simple. It's just 1d10. It's rending and it has a pen of 2.
So, how many more pieces of equipment do we have to go through?
Not too much more to go through. We have This is okay, sorry, I'm just looking at Alice's chat. Basically, Bill doesn't use the same ammo as you, so yeah, it'd probably be best if you split it between you and Ritualist. That would make more sense.
How much packs of
You
bolt
have
rounds?
9 mags. I'd say carrying more than 3 on you seems a little
I'll
overkill.
take 4. I'll take 4. You take 5.
Yep.
Gonna
Okay.
the line in.
To be fair, I will say that with some skilled help from both Ritualist, Bill, and Chief Engineer Valenia, you may be able to manufacture Legion bolter ammo. It might be tricky, but you might be able to do it. So you could literally set up a small manufactorium within your own ship. Nothing that would outfit an army, but for your own personal use, you could probably start up some of it.
We can find a lathe. That's really all we need.
So where do we get the depleted uranium?
That's a good point. I'm sure there's some around the ship somewhere that you can siphon off.
It's on the other part. It's the pile opposite all the regular uranium.
I mean, it's 40k. There's probably a lot of nuclear power running around the place. Okay. I'm going to go to the tricky part of the looting, which is the Legion power armor. There are 3 suits available. Now, it's hard for a human to wear Astartes armor. In fact, it's almost impossible unless you heavily modify it, just because of the
It's like
mass.
being in a particularly large wardrobe.
Also, the fact that it's designed to interface with the black carapace makes it especially difficult. But what I will say is, you can keep these in storage until you want to repair them, or you can start cannibalizing some of these suits for extra subsystems for your own armor.
I think that'll be a job that's going to take a while to go through them all
Yeah.
carefully. So, if you could give us the basic rundown for now, and we'll deal with it in some downtime.
Yeah. What I'll say for now is, if you want to cannibalize them, you may get 1 or 2 extra subsystems out per suit. But that will sacrifice most of the suit, but you are more than welcome to keep any excess parts for storage and repairs. Like, it won't destroy the whole suit, but it will stop it basically functioning, if that makes sense, as a suit.
Yeah. So we've got 3 different suits. That's the 2 Marines and Lord Cyrus's set, correct?
Yeah. I almost forgot. I will get to Lord Cyrus's set.
We give that to Jimmy.
Jimmy.
You can use as a tent.
Alright. Let's have a look at Jimmy's fucking Lord Cyrus. Okay, Lord Cyrus had a Legion bolt pistol on him, but I think both you and us have one, so you may as well just put that in the pool.
No, we keep that as a trophy.
It does have, to be fair, it does have some nice word-bearing, like word-bearer runes and prayers on it, so it's an alright collector's piece, honestly.
Also, it does 1d10 plus 9.
Yeah. A human could comfortably use that if they have something to offset the not having the training, actually.
What training?
So we can use it to unclog the toilet, to put the warp rats in the
My newly found Medicaid skills will be used to reattach people's arms when they've test fired it.
Okay, do you want the
Okay, we'll
stats
just
for
slot it
Legion
in
Bolt
like a-
pistol, or should we just put it in storage for now?
Keep it in storage.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone who can use it needs to.
Okay. There is also a power mole up for grabs. This was Lord Cyrus's. Power mole. It's basically the Mason Molag Bal in power weapon form. It's a power mace.
I'm half tempted to take power weapon trading just to use it. Because to me, it'd be like a cyclopean pattern power maul.
It's also Legion power maul, so that's gonna be.
Yes, what? It's a two-hander to us.
Okay, yeah, there's no stats for a Legion power maul. I could cook them up, but for now I'm just considering a human-sized one. So, it shouldn't be too hard for you to use. Nola says, I'll take the Mason Moloch bomb. To be fair, Monos, you already have a Legion power sword, so I don't think you'll get much out of this,
I
but...
think it'd be a step down.
Yeah.
Concussive when used in two hands.
Fine, never mind. Oof.
Extremely rare.
Put it in storage. Okay.
It's got this cabinet labeled Lord Cyrus. Do we remember to
Basically...
take Lord Cyrus out of the armor yet? Or is this gonna be
No.
like that thing with the head of the
Well, if we
family?
Well, if we tip him up, I'm sure he'll fall out.
Yeah, bear in mind he's partially ashes at the minute because he got burned pretty
The
bad.
summer wardrobe of Uncle Knick-Knack? The autumn wardrobe of Uncle Knick-Knack? Uncle
He got shot in the face
Knick-Knack?
with a plasma gun and got fucking erupted.
Okay, I'm gonna very quickly once again have a piss, discuss the looting amongst ourselves for a moment.
Alright.
2 words, payload rifle. I should be able to just yeet grenades at people from 250 meters away.
I mean...
We need to check the
Having-
garage. Do we have any like
Isn't
something
that
on
just-
wheels? To
wouldn't that just
I don't know what is left of that department of the ship. That's traditionally on the outside, and the outside's the bit that got, you know, reamed.
With macro cannons and landers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Basically,
sure sections of
don't-
the ship were just sheared the fuck off.
Yeah. Use the security cameras before you go through bulkheads the closer to the outside of the ship you go, just in case there isn't anything the other side of the door. You know, you don't want to get yeeted down to space, especially as the space at the moment is the fucking warp.
Oof.
You might wish you'd died. So, we've got a big pile of loot that's kind of distressingly moist in places.
Civ asks outright, like, were these people, were they word bearers?
What do you mean?
I don't know if I hate the bastards or I love them.
Well, I missed what you said, specifically.
He asks if they're word bearers.
There's some bits of word bearers still in 2 of the suits of power armor. And there's a fine,
Lovely.
like, veneer of Lord Cyrus in the bigger set, which I believe includes a trophy rack, which might be transferable, but I think that will be in poor taste.
Yeah.
Traditionally, the trophy
Civ
rack is
just
something you make
not.
yourself.
Civ just nods and says, yeah. Put it better.
Don't Space Marines isn't the power maul of a word bearer a Dark Crozius?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
Remember to check that if you touch it. Remember to check if you touch it if it speaks to you.
Do you like
Just
the
to take the
music?
power wall, you push it against your ear. Hello.
Oh,
Could be a demon weapon.
Lottie.
I have returned.
Resisted you. And I have finished the last act for tonight because I'll be dabbing away.
No worries.
Soon I am tired.
Cool. Ow.
So where are you guys? Alright, I need to show this. As you can see, the looting is going well. I just love John Marine going, dang.
John
We have can you see in the background far away? The
There
tits
you go,
is
you
being
degenerate.
reinforced.
Fucking Jimmy in power armor.
Fucking hell.
Jimmy Strong.
Jimmy Strong.
God, magnificent.
Oh, here we go, Dark Apostle.
Well, I've got a new desktop background.
All right.
I found the stats for the Curse to Crozius.
Oof.
The demonic version.
Oh shit! Is that in the only
It's in
more
the
enemies?
Book of
Imperium?
Excess. That's why no one could find it.
Oh right, that's
Ah.
It
obscure
does
as fuck.
2d10 plus 6.
Okay, maybe Nullis
Balanced,
does want
concussive,
that.
felling 4, and power field.
Do
Near
you need
unique.
Legion weapon
Could
training to
you
use
just
it?
post those stats?
It is on page 38 of the Tome of Excess.
Can I
Do you
use
Could you
that?
just quickly tell me
Yeah.
what those stats are again so I can write them down faster?
Okay. 2d10 plus 6 energy.
Yep.
Penetration value of 7. Balanced, concussive, felling 4.
That is
Holy shit.
fantastic as a weapon.
Holy fuck.
This is the
What was that
non-magical version.
Balance, concussive, felling 4. Is that it?
And power field.
Is there parentheses
concussive,
for the
felling forward.
concussive?
All
0.
right, that's
Okay.
Ooh, I'm technically buff enough to use that if I could get the Legion power training.
Can we
Gains the hatred talent against any foe with whom he engages in melee.
That is fantastic.
And
Well,
anyone with whom you get into combat with may not take the defensive stance option.
I feel like you should keep that in storage, unless Nullis really wants to dab on it right now.
I can advise he practices first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
If someone yeets him over the head and steals it, then
The only thing stronger is a thunder hammer. In this book, at least.
It's
I'm
the
tempted
Mesa
because,
Molag Ball Nullis, but it's better now because we found a proper style line for it.
Yeah, listen, the power axe is 2d10 plus 6 with the upgrade with penetration of 8. How much does this has penetration?
7.
Okay, Nullis says he really wants it after saying that.
I seen it.
Big ole yeet stick.
alright.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna copy the stat line into the chat.
Oh mate, you you got the Mason Monarch ball.
You may as well call it the Mesa Molag Ball. It's pretty much what it is.
More like ball, the great demon.
Oh, the fuck up. Which entry was that?
Also, it
Oh,
looks
fuck off.
fucking stupid. Because it's just a big symbol of chaos. On a stick.
That is fucking.
Well, I mean, it is a power
Disgusting.
weapon, so it doesn't actually need to be effective. It just needs to have the power field.
Yep.
Just needs to eat.
The reason I didn't notice this
Doesn't-
before was because in the Enemies of the Imperium book for the Dark Apostle, it doesn't have that. It just has Power Mole or whatever. That's what he has. So that's kind of
It
gay.
is the standard equipment of the Dark Apostle class.
Ye-
They start with this.
Fun.
Those of you
What
at
the
home are
fuck?
wondering what we meant when we said that the prestige classes are balanced amongst themselves, not versus the normal classes, then this is the example given.
It's the Book of Excess Knowledge, what, 96? Page 96?
Page 39.
Oh, 39. Okay.
39.
Or Tome of Excess, I should say, but regardless.
Anyway, yeah. So, any more weapons? Or armor or items?
No, I think that's everything as far as I can see.
Yeah, what about the landing party that hit the fucking engine bay? Is there like any vehicles left flying or?
Figures are dead.
So what you're saying is we want to use boarding torpedoes as like backup power. That could work.
It's a melee
Basically,
weapon,
do-
unless you don't need that.
Boarding torpedo is a melee weapon.
Requires.
It kind of is.
Just paint a big middle finger on the front of it and just shoot it at people at point blank.
Basically, Stuart asking, do we have any vehicles left? beside the fucking torpedoes.
Our
Well-
concern while you were gone is that any garage storage we'd have had would have been near the outside of the ship, which has been, peppered.
Literally, yeah. Basically, is there anything left?
Yeah,
Okay.
this thing just dissolves, Space Marine.
So, you may
drop
investigate
it.
the hangar bay if you wish. However, I would suggest basically, First Officer Diller, after seeing you pore over the loot and catalogue it with the quartermaster, turns to you, gentlemen, and says, morning, gentlemen. We are still in warp travel. Today, I would recommend any of you that are still hurt, go down and see Xyla, Winter, Magos, Winter once again, and get yourselves looked at. Besides that, day is however you deem fit.
Johanna will, upon hearing that she should go, that they should go to the medbay if they're still hurt, she thinks she should probably talk to someone about her new condition. She's been standing in the corner the whole time, looking at people going through loot, by the way.
Okay.
Holy shit.
And she's gonna just head off to the medbay.
Cool. Is there anything particular you other gentlemen would like to do while you're on the bridge?
I'm going to consult whichever person is currently on the security shift and inquire if he's seen anything, because I'm bored and have itchy trigger fingers. And I want to
Very
test
well.
out my new titty plate.
I would say, Skog, you're
Titty
still
plates.
heavily wounded. You
Oh,
may-
yeah, but that's not going to stop me, because I was watching the medic at work and I was learning feverishly on how to fix myself should I need to.
How to arrange my tits.
Oof.
Basically, I'm going to do the work on the armor and on the ship as much as I can. So,
Yep,
you
I'll
need to
assist
go to
where I
bed,
can.
guys. It's late here. I'm not tired.
No worries. Thanks
Good
for
night,
being here.
Twist. Thank you for all of your art. It is
Fantastic.
something I will see every time I turn on my computer.
Thanks, guys. Good night.
He is too wholesome for us, despite what he draws.
Yes.
Indeed.
PDF. Yeah, it's like a massive lad for Discord. Anyway,
Yep.
so Skog, did you want to go to the med bay first or somewhere else first?
I was gonna see if the security detail picked up anything that we should investigate, or at least, places where they can clearly see there is space outside the doors, and put up a sign or something.
I
Okay.
can see that.
Don't know if Jimmy's back yet, but regardless, he basically says to you from his getting reports from his security details. Hey, there's
Hey,
Dom.
Dom.
That was good timing. He basically tells you that one of his details picked up some stuff in the landing bay. It's nothing immediate, but it's something you could investigate later on potentially, because they think there might be a drop ship.
Hey, what's
that the
going
Imperial-
on over here?
There we go. It's Jimmy.
Jimmy suddenly just walks into wherever the fuck we are with a surprisingly large sandwich.
Jimmy's still eating breakfast. Yep.
Yeah, no, he just knew that, there's not many people left, so...
Okay, in that case, you're gonna...
The ration...
Okay, Stu, could we have it so that Johanna passes by Jimmy as she goes out?
Yes. You may pass Jimmy.
In that
as you leave the room.
case, should he roll an awareness check? Because she's kind of trying to look away from people a bit.
Yeah. Make a.
Wait, what is going on right now? I have no idea.
We just went through all the loot. I'll DM you the list, and you can see if you want anything.
Yeah. And just make an awareness check.
Yeah.
Basically.
Do you have deceive, Gren?
Yes.
Make a disguise check which is basically deceive, opposed by, I'll give you a +10 for it. And
Okay.
Dom will make a awareness check to base an opposed awareness check to notice.
Oh, God.
Oof.
Oof.
For all
Formatting.
these,
I'm going to change the
oh,
formatting so you can actually read it.
Yeah, I'll read it later, man. What, like, Jimmy's alright right now. He's enjoying his sandwich.
Cool.
Understandable.
Since Jimmy's eating a sandwich, Gren, I'll say he doesn't notice you, even though you didn't quite pull off the roll. So.
Yeah, it was just to see. It was just to see if you had to roll. If you had to roll to avoid the adverse effects.
Yeah, he doesn't. Jimmy's eating a sandwich, so it's all good. He barely notices you as you walk out the bridge. Okay. What I'll do is, if you guys are happy with this, I will do the extended care for the day while you visit Xyler Winter.
Yay.
You should be
Okay.
alright, Alice, for a while, so. Okay.
Well, Yana will enter the infirmary.
Okay, I'll tell you what, I'll just transition you to the med bay, why not? Da da da. Yeet.
So,
Okay, this is going to be interesting, Johan.
Yo, fuck, I'm taking that last pistol.
she's going to enter the bridge quite noticeably, trying to look away from people.
Uh-huh.
But she's going to try to juggle looking away from people and seeing if the Magos is in the infirmary, which it probably is.
He is indeed. He is still tending to the wounded from the Red Sun, but he's mostly unoccupied. Besides that,
Does he notice I'm entering?
He does, and he turns to you and goes, Florine, you still need some assistance, I take it, yes? How are you feeling?
As she's holding a hand in front of her face a little, she's kind of going to speak to him without looking at him first. I still have minor wounds, as you may have noticed yesterday.
Of course,
But
Florine.
I could also use some advice. I seem to have gained a gift of a kind.
Of course, Fräulein. Please, follow me. He kind of takes you over to a corner in the med bay that's kind of away from most of the eyes, besides his servants, but most of his servants are servitors. The ones that aren't are trained well enough to not pry too much as he's doing his work, so...
Yes. And as she sees that there's few people around,
Yep.
she's going to say, and she's going to just look straight into his eyes.
Uh-huh.
Is he immune to fear?
He is not. He's going to make a test. Okay. Xyler Winter looks at your face, and it's strange. He doesn't show too much emotion as to the visage of your face, but you notice his eyes just kind of twitch for a moment very suddenly, and he kind of just turns away from you for a second, and he's like, Fräulein, you truly have received something of a gift, I suppose. When did this happen?
Well, first of all, he should have made that willpower test at a -10, not that that matters.
No.
And secondly, she'll kind of, try not to look directly at him for his sake more than her own.
Yep.
And she'll say, I had a dream, I guess. And I woke up this morning with this face.
Yes,
I-
indeed, Fräulein.
It's quite. Hmm. She's.
I am a man of science, Fräulein. In terms of the dark luminous powers, unless it is a... You say it was a gift, yes?
In my dream, the prince gave it to me. So,
He kind of shudders a little as you mention the word, prince. But he kind of manages to compose himself a little and just kind of goes, yes, I think I know of what he did to you.
that's. She looks a bit hopeful and accidentally looks straight towards him again.
He's already kind of turned sideways to you because he knew exactly what would happen if he looked at you again. And he's just kind of, he just kind of talks off to the side to you while he's like pretending to look at some schematics and so forth and some of his chemical composites near the shelf. And he just kind of casually goes, Fräulein, this is not something I could easily alter or even remove if that was your wish.
You seem to be I just wished for. I didn't quite know who to show it to or who to go to advice for. There's not many people of knowledge such as yourself here, my Lord Magos.
That was a correct assumption on your part. Can you... I must confess I'm not so much an expert on matters of the warp, but could you possibly control this somehow, or is it more spontaneous?
Do I need to take a willpower check, or just do I have to kind of decide not to control it better?
I'll say you make a neutral willpower test. Basically, it depends how long you want to keep the visage up for. If there's a particular one you want.
What I need
If you want to look
right now, I guess I would just want the pleasant visage, which is unearthly beautiful, because it's the mask of Shalesh.
Yep. That would be a neutral willpower test. I would say you can hold that for about an hour or so, roughly. You'll basically make extended tests the longer you want to keep it up.
Okay,
and
I'll try.
It may be modified by circumstance in the future.
Nope.
You...
She tries to focus, but he continues switching between the two wildly.
Yeah. He kind of spares a sideways glance as you're doing it, but he quickly recalls as he sees that it's not quite... Like, he sees that you're trying, but he just doesn't quite... you don't quite pull off, so he quickly turns back to his work. It's like, yes, Fräulein, I think you will need to work on that somewhat if you wish to maintain a normal aura among those you work with. The best thing I could suggest, if it's too much of an issue, wear some kind of veil or mask over your face. That may help matters somewhat. I could fashion you something if that would help.
A simple mask that I can simply put over my face would probably work.
certainly do have a preference for materials.
If you roll low, is it a paper bag?
I'll get the artwork I have up.
You wear a burqa, oof,
Nah.
oof.
Large oof.
Well, I was just thinking a simple, like, what's it called, like plasteel, plastic, the 40k
A
version of just
plasteel
plastic mask.
mask, yeah.
Yep.
He's gonna roll you up a crafting check.
Just a normal plasteel mask with a vaguely feminine face, I suppose.
How about this? How you just wear the helmet that you'll give.
Fuck you.
Oh yeah. He
It's got a visor.
Nerd.
he spends about 10-20 minutes away in his private laboratories, and he, after a while, he peeks around the door and kind of just peeks his head a little sideways so he can leave the room without looking at you directly. And he kind of just casually hands this off to you while he continues his work, like, "Here, Fräulein, I think this will be suitable." And it is
I'm guessing it's
it's a very beautifully made silver mask. And it's somewhat
Nice.
feminine in features, and it fits you quite nicely.
that
The mask
case.
has titties.
Oh god,
that
paper
case-
bag, man. Oof.
She'll I'm guessing it's just a type of mask where you can just put it on your face and it just kind of stays there.
Yes, you can kind of, if that fails, you could like easily get straps to put it on. So if you need to,
She's just
secure it.
gonna, yeah. She's just gonna put the mask. She's just gonna put the mask on. I'm guessing it just kind of blocks the effect.
They can still see your eyes somewhat, but most of the effects, like, that's not too much of a problem because it's mainly the whole visage in total that's somewhat disturbing for
Mhm.
people.
In that case, all she will say is, "Thank you, Lord Magos. The only other thing I need is." She kind of shows him the remaining, bullet wounds and so on.
Ah, of course, Fräulein, please. Over here. So, now we can work unimpeded. Okay, Skog, I presume you make your way down here at some point as well to
Yeah.
get your medical care for the day.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna-
basically, during the morning when you both arrive, he will make another extended care test for you both.
Cool. Can I assist?
You may assist him, in fact. Do you have Medicaid trained?
Yeah.
Okay. He'll give you a small bonus on the success of that. Okay, Gren, actually both of you heal 6 wounds in total.
Cool. I am also
Nice.
willing to be helping fix the other cat person.
Dap.
Because I've been learning. Because I was really bored being stuck in bed.
And that fixes that. Now I am unharmed condition.
Yeet. So you're fully thingied, fully healed. How are you doing,
what is
Skog?
it? So it's the toughness modifier affects the damage level. So I've got what? I've got 35, so that's 3. So it's double that, so that's 6. I am still heavily damaged then, I think.
Okay. So you may require one more day of care before you're fully healed, but looks.
I need 8 more hit points.
Could I try to help them out? As so,
I don't know if it would do much at this
Oh.
point.
You may make. Yeah, I'll
okay.
tell you what, Pasta. If you're about, you may make a Medicaid test at plus 20 for being a good lab facility with assistance. It's not going to help
Okay.
much, but it will help a little bit because Winter's done most of the work. So
Modifier 20.
Just like against the Nazis, Winter did most of the work for the Soviets.
Oof.
okay, Skog. It turns out that Ziv, during his long career as a guardsman in the trenches, picked up quite a few things about medicine, and even Winter himself is somewhat impressed by your skills. If you heal another 2 wounds, Skog.
Yay!
Nice.
I'm now only lightly damaged.
Hey!
Woo!
It's something.
It's happening. Okay. What would you three, I suppose, like to do now? Since you've now been healed somewhat. Oh yes,
I would
I
like to-
forgot. Jane is there.
How is Jane?
You may go
Is
see
she
her.
alive?
She is.
Yay!
It's okay, I picked up this trick from the trenches. It's called pervertin.
The marijuana with the
Takes-
cocaine mix kicks in.
Take 2 of these and call me when you pass out.
Perfect.
There will be a downside, however. You will lose like 20 pounds of weight the hard way.
Oof.
Yeah, I guess he got his fine reward from seeing like his own fucking ribs in the trenches there.
Okay. Jane is now awake, but she is still somewhat hurt, so she's still in bed. However, upon noticing she was awake, Zyler Winter took the liberty of securing one of her arms with some shackles that's on the slab.
Alright.
You may go over to her if you wish.
Okay. Oof.
Oh. So what were you trying to do, Scott? Were you trying to talk to her about something?
I was gonna say hello.
Okay. Okay.
I've
You
probably
walk
come
over
across,
to
like,
her bed.
wearing-
You walk
Why am
over.
I where did I get this butcher's apron and knife from?
Okay.
Miss, can I interest you in some pervertin?
Okay. Skog, you go over to her bed. You open your mouth and say, like, hello there, I guess. And she just
Hello,
kind of
Toby.
spits in your direction, somewhat weakly, but still a little disturbing. And just goes,
Shit.
fuck you, mutant. What do you want?
Well, I was gonna offer you some new armor, but I guess not today then.
Oh,
shit.
fucking. Why do you even keep me alive?
People like being alive.
Death to the Chaos Gods. For the Emperor. Fuck you.
Well,
Okay.
have a nice
You
day. I
better kill me
guess.
now. Or I'm gonna
Sid
get out
just
of here and
walks-
kill you all.
Sid walks up to her and says, "You're left me in the trenches."
Okay.
I'm sad and I leave.
Yeah.
She just bursts into tears.
Ursula.
Runs off.
Yeah. You lean
Yeah,
over, I
yeah.
guess, and try and be all scary and shit. But she just spits in your face again and is like, fuck you, you don't scare me.
Okay, I'm gonna try to back Ursula up on this one.
Okay.
Any
God,
mod?
I'm
Ursula
out of the
modifier?
room.
iron cheeked on.
What's the
Fuck
modifier?
you come out.
Ziv, I will give you a +10 because you're kind of unsettling just because of the fact that you used to be a guardsman as well, and you're kind of in those, drab clothes that make you look a bit weird.
You look like a potato sack. you look like a potato sack with some serious.
You basically lean into her, and you know in Batman where Scarecrow looks all scary when they're all high on drugs. It's kind of like that,
Holy shit.
and her eyes just as you lean in and say your thing. What do you actually say to her? If anything.
Your fucking emperor left me in the trenches to die.
Okay, her eyes just widen. This actually, no, I'm gonna make her do a willpower test. Hold on.
Because this is probably way closer to something she's seen as well. Like, she's probably seen this happen. She might have even seen like a trench get shelled with all the people inside. Because let's face it, if you are in the guard for more than 5 years, you have seen some serious shit.
Yeah.
And you know precisely.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I gave her a penalty because of how well you done that test. Basically, yeah, her eyes just widen somewhat, and she just starts quivering a little bit, like the Emperor protect.
No.
Evidently not
Just
very
to-
well.
Just to add to this scenario, as fucking Joanna is exiting the infirmary
Yep.
after being treated, she's going to look towards the woman from over Siv's shoulder, and all she's going to do is she's going to remove her mask slightly and wink.
Okay, I'm gonna make her make another test.
And that was how. She
Minus
died.
10,
Yep.
and then she has to roll at the shock table with a plus 2.
Aren't you fear too, Gren?
Yes, plus 20.
Minus 20 in that case.
Fuck it, I'm taking a power blade too.
Okay.
That's
You can have this back when I die.
Okay. She basically pisses herself at the sight of you. And she just starts wailing and sobbing uncontrollably. I'm gonna roll on the shock table.
This kills her.
I know! Where
she
the-
can't die.
She suffers a catastrophic heart attack and just keels the fuck over.
I don't have the ability to kill her with shock, but she can be knocked unconscious.
Oh, fucking. Okay, where the hell's the shock table?
Page 277.
Oh, you've looked at this.
Yes. In fact, you could just roll and I could tell you what happens.
Okay, 2 degrees of failure. Hold on, let me just roll 1d100. So that's 49.
Plus 20. Plus 20, yep. So let's see.
Reeling with shock, character slowly backs away from the thing that confronts him. The character cannot willingly approach the object of his fear, but may otherwise act normally. A bit with a minus 10% penalty on all tests for rest encounter. Okay, so it doesn't really affect her that much now that I think about it, but she's just even more terrified now and unsettled.
She tries to slither away from.
But she
off
can't.
the fucking-
Go to the bed. It's
Okay.
almost like she's a potentially dangerous prisoner who has already made the cat girl cry.
So yeah, she's just sobbing now after fucking the trench man and the faceless Slanesh just tried to eat it on her with their scariness.
Trench nigga and
With the literal face of
What's the
Slanesh.
price? Do you know what you should have said? You should have just gone to her and gone, what's the price of a mile?
This is the 41st millennia. What's the price of about 2.5 feet?
What's the
Sorry,
price
he
of a
didn't even-
galaxy?
Okay.
Worst part, he
Mention
didn't even mention
factorials.
it was a. He didn't even mention it was a trench in the Screaming Vortex.
Oof.
Need to know that.
Yeah, she doesn't need to know that.
The fact that anyone would go to a place called the Screaming Vortex is testament to how shitty their logistics are.
Yeah.
Just-
Okay.
Let's just pick a fight with this location called the Valley of Defilement. I'm sure this will go swimmingly.
I'm pretty sure that's literally what your backstory is. You're the 660th Cadian went into the Valley of Defilement and didn't come out.
And guess what? Got valleyed. This way. They didn't get valleyed very hard. They got something else.
Yeah,
It's
it
in
was
the name.
like. Thing is, in the character sheet, at least he says it's hindrance they went to,
Huh.
which is fun.
Oof.
Not even a high tier chaos planet, and they got yeeted on. Well,
Oh boy.
like a fucking bitch.
Okay. Is there anything else you would like to do in here with Jane, maybe? I'm not too sure what you could do at this point to convince her to go to your cause, to be honest.
I think Siv's just gonna turn around and just walk away.
As I'm in here rubbing alcohol, I'll go to where she is. I will take a glass of water and I will put it slightly out of her reach just to be a dick.
Okay.
Man, you got a
She
fucking
doesn't
better
even
room.
react.
He's a better room than I do. No, I do.
I will be
What? Fuck you. You have a better room than I do.
I picked this room last year, boy.
Oh wow. But
Go ahead.
Fucking Dobbs
If I
might
knew
kick
more-
through an all 20. Oof.
If I knew more about medical stuff, what I'd do is I'd swap around her like drip and her colostomy bag. But I don't, so there you go. You dodged a bullet this time.
Yeah, she barely reacts, like, doesn't even notice this point. She's just traumatized by all the horrors.
If she has a dessert on her tray, I'm stealing it.
Right side, she might go
You can
mad
get
enough to
fucked.
join
I work
chaos.
for a living.
Ugh.
Right side,
My
she might go.
face.
She
My
might go
face.
mad enough to join
I
chaos.
got my character regularly swans in through the medical bay to steal shit.
do you want to know the reason? Do you want to know the reason why a Nurgle worshipper is the scariest thing in the 41st millennium? Because they are perpetually happy.
Yeah, and they're so happy. They want to share that happiness with you in a very direct fashion.
My
Wow.
face when I failed the intimidation check against the person lying wounded in a bed when I'm a 6'1" buff cat mutant.
6'1" buff cat mutant versus woman in full body cast.
Okay.
Bright side, we stood up for you.
It's funny how I don't even need to intimidate people anymore most of the time.
By the way,
Yeah, you got the face for it.
I'll fix this scene somewhat now. There we go. Oh boy. It looks so sad when you look at her now. Like, just that art of her with a black eye and stuff, and you just bullied her while she was strapped down on a table.
Sim goes, no shit. He was in that trench. Shoot the die.
Fucking talk shit, get shit on.
Talk shit,
She's
get
in the
hit.
Imperial Navy. I refuse to feel sorry for these people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at me. I sit on a nice safe ship and bum each other all day long. Oh, we're all dying of scurvy in the fucking trenches. Getting shot by someone who we can't even pronounce their name.
Oh.
Okay. Would you boys like to do anything else while you're here?
I'm gonna look for my cult leader. If she's on the ship. Still
Okay.
alive.
I wasn't sure. Did she made on the ship, didn't she? You said, Grin.
Well, that's the reason why we joined this crusade in the first place. Why Ioannam joined the crusade in the first
Okay,
place
yep.
was because the cult leader got the call, and this was the closest ship.
Yeah,
Unironically, coincidentally.
fair enough. Okay. What are the rest of you looking to do?
I want to go and shoot some people to make myself feel better. Are there any viable targets?
This seems like a fantastic opportunity to test out something I want to make.
Okay.
I want to, because adamantine is at a very strict premium here. But what we do have is a bunch of horse shit from the engineering bay. I would like to reload my spent bolt casings with less than lethal rounds.
Okay. What I'll do is, Bill, would you like to go to engineering or the armory in particular? Where would you like to go?
Well, I'm only reloading ammo, so I'm
Go
inclined toward. Well, does the armory actually have manufacturing facilities?
It has like an ammo bench, sure, so you can try some stuff out if you like.
Does the ammo bench have like slug molds for like you would use with a shotgun slug?
Yeah, don't see why not.
That'll do. So there's something in like 75 caliber or whatever the fuck those things use these days.
If you need assistance, you can, of course, fox people, so because you're patched into the shipwide fox if you need to communicate to a particular person.
Does anyone have
like,
for
number 3
example,
bullet mold?
I
If-
would like to think
if you
I'm
were
in the
brave
armory
enough-
angrily reloading.
If you're brave enough, Bill, you may ask Chief Engineer Valenia for assistance if there's something particularly tricky you want to do. She is busy at the moment, but if you think it's worth her time, you can definitely call her up at some point.
Angrily rebuilding the ship.
Yes.
An Imperial shooting holes in my ship.
Okay, let us go to the
I will
armory.
check. The only thing I'll do to trouble her is ask if it's okay for me to use the bench, or if she's got something planned for it later, in the foreseeable future.
Yeah, well, you're in the armory at the minute, and the only guy that's kind of person that's around here, there's a few ratings and cultists at work just milling around. Presumably Nullus and Ritualist have been giving them some standing orders to do. Most of the cultists have pretty much fallen in with Nullus's commands because he's got the right. He's got some of what Lord Cyrus had, you know, that kind of charisma and that
Or 12 feet
oratory
height,
skills.
for instance.
Yeah. And he's an Astari, so yeah.
And here's a big fucking hammer now.
Yeah, he has Lord Cyrus's hammer, so that kind of helps a lot as well.
It's like Sword of Pan rules, and somebody's in charge.
The only notable figure in here is the Quartermaster, so if there's anything basic you want of him, he can probably provide it while you're working in here.
I shall ask if he has any kind of any ballistic grade gelatin or similar, like beanbag shells, something we would normally use for riot suppression that may have been left on the ship in the old days.
Yeah, let me
And by
have a
riot
look.
suppression, I don't mean just buckshot.
Okay,
I must stress this.
he's gonna make a test. See what he can find.
What if you just filled it with plastic BBs?
I mean, I was thinking something more gelatin related because this is a bolt shell. It will still just, if it was just BBs, it would still just macerate your flesh.
Oh yeah.
Do you assist him at all, Bill?
And this is what variety of test was this, by the way?
This was a trade test he was making on intelligence.
Trade test, just regular trade or trade armor.
If you have trade armor, that will help quite a bit.
I do have armor.
Okay, I'll give you that as
Ooh,
plus 10.
not
Yeah.
very much.
Okay, for some reason, he kind of just searches and searches. You give him a hand searching through the various supplies aboard the armory. You can't quite find what you're looking for. You find some of what you're looking for, but it won't quite be enough to make the full, should we say, the full quantity of what you're hoping for, should we say. You find some of it, but not quite enough. Because it
Do
was
I
like
have enough
gelatin, wasn't it, for like non-lethal rounds and stuff like that.
Yeah, anything that would hit hard would withstand the force of a bolt shell impact, but disperse the energy over a wide enough area to just knock people down and unconscious.
Yeah.
Suggestion. Don't you have some chunks of Space Marine available?
That would go through people.
Yeah. Basically,
Like small
for this specific thing you're looking for, Bill, you don't find anything today that would really help with it too much. but you are welcome to try again later on in the future. Is there anything else you would like to try and make research for?
How warp infested is the ship currently?
Warp
Like,
infested.
how bad is? I say warp infested. I mean, how chaosy is it on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being vanilla Imperial ship, 10 being like something Abaddon's bros.
Kind of like a 2 or 3. Honestly, it's not that bad. There's a few, particularly in some of the lower decks, that don't have a lot of regular human contact. Some should we say, background corruption has kind of seeped in from being around the warp a long time.
Could I use my survival skill? I want to set a snare trap. Very simple snare. And the idea is, well, it's not even a snare trap as such, it's more 3 tiny nurgling-sized nooses. I'm going to try and make a bolus out of nurglings.
Bolus. Okay.
Can I get those nurglings bolus?
Okay, so you're delving, I take it, into the depths of the ship to try and sell.
Correction, I'm sending a cultist to do it for me, because I'm not stupid.
Okay.
So, you, put this noose out downstairs.
Okay, first of all, make the survival check at plus 30 to make the simple trap. You make a pretty good trap. And now...
That's without the plus 30, by the way.
That's without the plus 30, yeah. You make
it's based on perception, it's hilarious.
Okay, you make a fantastic trap. However, you
I'm
now...
gonna come down there later, there's 3 space marines in it. I may have overdone it somewhat.
You now need to make some kind of social skill to instruct the cultist properly, because he'll do it, because he recognizes that you're important and that you follow Nullus. You know, you work closely with him.
Isn't that command?
Intimidate it is.
But you need to convince him somehow to... I'll give you plus 20 to actually convince the guy to do it properly, basically.
Why not?
Okay.
Come on, man. It's like, okay, I'll do it my fucking self.
Okay, yeah, you just kind of scare him shitless. You're gonna do it like this! Now listen! Put it across that doorway! You got me? And he just
Put up this noose! Put up this noose! I come back 5 minutes later, he's hung himself. That's not what I meant at all. I'm just depressed. None of my plans work.
Okay. Bill?
Why are cultists stupid?
Let me just see what kind of skill check you would need for this one.
I'm just sitting here rubbing the bridge of my nose. I am surrounded by mongoloids.
Do you have any kind of navigate skill built?
Navigate. I have... Well, let's put it this way. I have a motorcycle, and I have the means to drive it around the ship, which will make it substantially easier.
Okay, yeah, make a plus 30 operate ground check to make your way down to the bowels of the ship to where you want to put the trap.
Okay.
Oh my fucking god. Okay, Bill, basically, you drive your motorcycle down into the bowels of the ship, but you kind of go a bit enthusiastic with it. You're like, hell yeah, I love this bike! And you just zoom around there for a good while, and then you suddenly remember, oh shit, I'm supposed to be doing something down here.
What was I meant to be doing again? Ah, shit.
Ugh.
Noose!
However, you do eventually find it. Oh shit, I'm just imagining you going, Boomer, Boomer USA, as you drive around the ground.
It's a lawnmower and like...
You're just drinking a can of recaf or whatever.
Things were better back in the day. Right before I...
Okay, you spend a good few hours of the day just doing this. You expend a bit more fuel than you would have liked, although fuel's not really a problem on board a spaceship for the most part. Especially just crude fuel like the motorbike uses.
It's just got a big aerial that goes into the ceiling like a fucking...
I'm pretty sure
car.
Imperium uses like fusion stuff. They don't even use much crude oil, so... They probably use a little bit, but not much. Anyway. You spend way longer than you would have planned doing this. You do find the spot where you want to place the trap, though. Make me a plus 40 check to place the trap, because it's quite good. It's not going to be easily noticed. And despite how long it's taken you, you found a decent spot to put it.
Chaos troopers at its
Yeah.
finest.
Yeah, that's like 3 degrees success. Yeah, you put the trap down, and you may now depart when you wish. It's in a good location.
Cruise back up. Done.
Make another operate test at plus 40 this time, because you kind of know your way a bit more better around the ship after zooming around for ages. Yeah, you get back up there.
I reverse 3 feet into a service elevator and appear back next to my room.
Yeah. You suffer 1 level of fatigue, though, Bill, because you spent so long down there. You're a bit tired. Not that it matters too much at this point, but anyway.
Did I find my cult leader?
Yeah, I'm going to come to that now. Okay, let us go to Le Balax. This is one of the quarters where many of the crew and cultists have been building up in. You arrive there, and it's just there's just a load of people kind of milling around, chilling out, trying to get some sleep, working on just damaged bulkheads and consoles. Not so much consoles, but just damage around the ship and so forth.
Somewhat, presumably, some of the lower intelligence cultists on every backswing of their hammers are just hitting the person in the bunk behind them.
Yes. These
And
guys
the
are
person in the
particularly
bunk behind. And the person in the bunk behind them is so retarded they don't even feel it.
They're just already unconscious.
Grog wonder why it's raining inside.
Or they're Slaneshi and they enjoy it.
Yeah. They do come
to
from
Run Cave,
many
Grog not
faiths,
expecting
these
a club.
cultists.
Hmm?
Anyway, Gren, do you have a way of contacting your cult leader specifically, or are you just kind of looking around?
Thought sending.
Okay, you may roll that.
What?
I'll give you a plus 20 because there's not that many. I presume your cult leader was Slaneshi inclined as well. I think.
Yeah.
I'll give you a plus 20 because it's somewhat easier to find someone who's that devoted into particular faith.
You never know when you're going to roll a 93.
You never know what's going to come through that door. Yeah. You...
That's anyone within a... That's
kilometers?
that's within 2 kilometers. Yeah, that's within 2 kilometers.
You...
That's probably not enough of the ship.
You get a sense where the cult leader might be, but you're going to have to delve a little bit further into the quarters of the ship. These things are quite expansive, shall we say, because there's quite a large crew aboard the Red Sun. So
Okay.
you'll have to move forward a bit and then try and make another test at plus 20 again, though.
Okay. I'll
I
do
found
a. I'm guessing would it be awareness to try and spot Slaneshi, Slaneshi cultists?
Yes. I'll give you a plus 10 on the awareness to find them.
It's a light cruiser, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in fact the exact image we have of our light cruiser. 2 kilometers length total.
That is at least 4 degrees of success looking at that. Yeah, you find some Slaneshi cultists in one part of the ship. You may speak to them if you wish.
She's going to keep her mask on, so the only thing. So I mean, she's probably still recognizable overall, but she's not taking her mask off, which means she doesn't get the bonus to speaking with Slaneshi cultists. Because second part of the phase of Slanesh is that you get a plus 10 bonus to interaction tests.
Yeah, you
Slaneshi
do,
cultists.
because you have pure Slaneshi cultists. Mortifor
Yes.
Slanesh. Yep.
But I am choosing not to benefit from it by keeping my mask on because I can't control it yet.
I will
She's
say,
going to go.
I will say that if you want to try and control the visage, you can test again because it's been a couple hours since you left the med bay now.
Okay, I'll test again.
Yeah, it's still a
At
neutral test. Yep.
Still a neutral test. Hey!
Yeah, you can take the mask off now and appear beautiful once again.
She's going to go up towards them. And as she's walking up to them, she's going to take her mask off, revealing the beautiful version of Slaanesh, of the face of Slaanesh.
Okay. As they turn to you, and you lower the mask, upon seeing your visage, their faces just light up in radiance. They're just ecstatic at this, and they all kind of look away for a moment, but then look again at you, and they're just completely enthralled by the visage that you have. And they all immediately, shortly after this, like, kneel down in front of you. It's like, "Sister, you've been blessed by the prince. Glory to his name. How may we serve you?"
She's Johanna is a bit taken aback, though she can't deny that she enjoys it a bit. She'll just say, "I wish to find." What would be a good name for the cult leader? Do you think?
Cult leader
Yeah.
was what, a noble woman or something, or was
That-
that your
something like
character? Yeah.
No, my character wasn't the cult leader.
I thought your character was a
The cult
noble,
leader
though.
is probably
I have a name generator somewhere. I'll have a look.
sure. Just
Chlamydia.
email.
Chlamydia. Oh boy. 4K name.
No, this would be original. What's her name? It's a Roman serial murderer.
Got a bunch of names here.
Locusta.
Burn it.
La Costa.
Locusta is the name of a serial poisoner from the Roman era.
That works.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I wish
Let's
to
put it
find.
this way. She's one of those people who's got a bunch of bullshit written about her. Like, for instance, the idea that she was sentenced to death by being fucked by a giraffe. She's one of those historical figures.
I see. In that case, she's going to say, "I wish to find Madame Lacosta."
Ah, Madame Lacosta. Yes. She is attending to some of our flock further into the ship. Please, if you would follow us, I would be honored to take you there.
Very please do. And she will put on the mask again for the moment.
Good stuff. Okay. Just a quick thing. Did any of you other guys want to do anything on the ship? And I think Skog and Pasta wanted to do something.
Yeah, Sue has a plan, but he just needs to know if they've disposed of the bodies yet.
They,
Just gonna get a wheelbarrow.
yeah,
He
they,
has a look around.
the the Navy ratings have taken away the bodies, but they haven't quite incinerated them yet. It's only been a day or so. They've just kind of put them in the sort of morgue storage in the med bay. So they may not be incinerated. In fact, Zyler Winter may decide to dispose of them somehow.
Just harvest them for stem cells.
Yeah.
Yes, I need
That's the
them.
point. Did we actually manage to harvest the gene seed of those?
Yes, I'm going to address that very shortly. If you're alright, Gren, I will take us over to Pasta if that's okay for a moment.
Sure.
I'll just transition a little bit between different people.
It's a fluid narrative.
Yes. So where you wanted to go to, Pasta?
I want to go to the place where the bodies was. That was what room was that?
It'll be basically near the med bay. It won't be exactly in the med bay, but I'll just make a little room as an abstract.
Yeah, I
for
would
you.
at least. Yeah, I can at least assume the med bay, but then I might do a operate check. Was it for navigating?
Won't be a moment. I'm just gonna sort the map out. Okay, Ziv. You make your way into the med bay.
Yeah.
Magos Winter greets you and is like, yes, Herr. Can I help you?
I'm looking for the bodies.
Apologies, Herr. You may need to be more specific. I have dealt with many corpses in my line of work.
The recent bodies.
Again, Herr, you may need to be even more specific. I have had many corpses recently.
The
He chuckles
bodies
a little
retrieved
bit.
from
He's
the
not
bridge.
offended or anything. He just kind of chuckles a bit at the question.
Good, so I'm looking for the bodies from the bridge.
Ah, yes, sir. That definitely rings a bell. Are you talking of the Astates?
Well, anyone will do, as long as they've got heads.
I see her.
So-
Follow me. I haven't quite finished. I haven't really started on Sim, to be honest, but they are in good condition still.
Magnificent. Magnificent.
Ah,
Okay. Should I just get to it? Like rolling?
what did you wish with these corpses? Sightseeing or
Ah.
something else?
No. This is not pleasure. This is very much business. I am here
My
to
favorite
create
word,
blight-
Herr.
I've come to craft blight grenades. The best of my
The blight grenades. The ones of Father Nurgle. His favorite little devices, yes. Ah.
Yes, and they are very much resourceful, I've found. Find
Very-
a dead body, turn them into a blight grenade, poof.
Yes.
Got a weapon.
Don't mind me, Herr. It's been a while since I've worked with the Nurgle. His particular concoctions. What would be required to make your blight grenades? If you don't know, I can look it up. I have many files on this.
Yes, you can look it up. I shall just quite simply try to recall.
Sure thing, I shall have a look for you. He's going to make a knowledge check for you.
Ah, okay. I could also do a. Right. Yeah. You can go out of that. Ah, okay. Nice. Yeah. I don't have that trade, unfortunately. Actually.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Fortunately, Xyler Winter knows exactly how to make blight grenades after looking through a few of his files.
No
Peering
fucking
through some of
bad.
the old knowledge he has on Chaos lore, shall we say.
Magnificent.
Yep. And he handily tells you how to make blight grenades exactly. Basically, you'll have to take some of the essence of the bodies, particularly the parts that are quite diseased and like, you know, poisonous, shall we say, like, you know, the guts and the bits that just aren't very healthy to look at, to be honest, or come into contact with. Yes, Gren, basically jam them to container and let them decay for a long time
Yeah.
until you get the
Add
substance.
add some explosives to the mix, and you have a blight grenade.
Yep, and then you will need to seal them with wax or with some other fluid, and you have a blight grenade.
Yeah.
Why exactly it
Skulls
works?
are
Probably.
heads are quite a good component. So, if you wish to ask Zyler Winter, he may allow you to take some of their heads.
Yeah, I wouldn't say no to the heads. Absolutely in for that. And some of the guts.
Yep.
Yeah.
Zyler Winter will walk back over and he'll be like, "Ah, yes, sir. We may take the skulls from the stormtroopers. The
Yes,
Astartes,
magnificent.
however, I need to study it a bit more. But stormtroopers, do as you will. Use whatever components you like, and if there's anything your honored colleagues would need from them, I would advise them to come down as well before I need to dispose the bodies eventually."
Of course. That I can understand. I shall deal with the 3.
Okay.
Should I do a check?
Basically, Gren, what will happen is since he has most of the components here, he can make some kind of crafting check to make 1 or 2 blight grenades. It won't give him as many as you would get from an infamy check, but it's a little bit easier than making an infamy check, basically, at least in theory. Yep.
Which one was it supposed to check?
Do you have medicine, first of all?
I have Medicaid.
Yep.
I don't have trade medicine, but I have Medicaid.
Medicaid is the same as medicine.
Yeah, okay.
Do you have any lore skills at all?
My lore skills...
As in particularly forbidden or scholastic lore related to chaos,
Yeah.
like magics and so forth?
No, not related to chaos and magic, no.
Okay.
Only to essentially, like, guardsman stuff.
No worries. Basically, make me a plus 20 Medicaid check for Zyler assisting you and because he has some assistance facilities.
Uh-huh.
Oof.
Oof.
Okay.
Well, I tried.
Yeah. You try to place the things in the containers and let them decay for a bit, but it just doesn't. You haven't sealed it properly, or you haven't put the right mixtures in, and something just doesn't quite go right. It's taking a lot longer to decay than you would hope for. But Zyler Winter kind of just comes over to you, pats you on the back, and is like, don't worry about it here. If we can't all be masters of our field now. I'm sure if it's a few hundred years under your belt, you'll be as good as me, yeah?
Indeed.
Listen,
That's
think-
the humble. I see that the Magos is a master of humble bragging. I've noticed.
Oh, yeah. But he does turn to you and go, "Listen, here, leave it with me. I can probably get it to you by the end of the week. I have the knowledge here, and I get the idea of how this procedure works. You'll feel free to come back later, see how they're doing.
I shall.
Do me a favor,
thank
though,
you.
when you come back, bring me the components for the explosives elements, shall we say. Saves me the bother, you know?
Of course.
Alright. Bye for now, here. I will contact you when they're ready."
We shall see what happens soon.
Nicest guy in chaos. This Magos.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, Skogson, did you wish to do something as well?
Presumably take the wheelbarrow of weapons that I've been slowly acquiring to the armory and hand them over to the quartermaster.
Yeah, I'll take you over to the armory. Okay. We should probably establish who the armorer is aboard the Red Sun. I personally envisage it's some dude from the ship. Possibly some kind of veteran guardsman. Do you guys have any suggestions who it might be?
Traditionally, the armory sergeant is in some way disabled
Yeah.
combat veteran because it's the it's a high-ranking job which doesn't require action. Normally missing either an arm or a leg.
Mhm.
And
Or
is
at least that is tradition in all of the fiction I've seen on the subject.
Yes! Yes! Nullis is hit on the head. It's Gage. He's in a wheelchair. And he smokes glow sticks all the time. He's a bit unkempt. Yep. Okay. What was Gage's rank in Payday? Does anyone know? I'm sure this is in the lore somewhere of Payday.
Googling intensifies.
I'll Google. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has a rank and service record in the lore somewhere.
Afghanistan veteran.
Yeah. He fought in Talaran then.
He originally served a long time on Junker 5 and he's permanently fucked up because
He's just an old
the
Vietnam vet.
one link between all of the campaigns is Gage.
Bill's like, no, we tried to avoid this. Oof.
No, it's fine. Literally fine. This is definitely not the vodka speaking.
It does not give him a rank.
Okay,
He took a bullet.
here's the thing. I need another piss again because I've been drinking most of tonight, so I'll let you guys come up with his lore. I'll be back in a bit.
Alright. I'm trying to find information.
So, I mean, Afghanistan.
How
like,
extreme do we want the disability to be? Because I'm thinking like full on, like Johnny got his gun, like won by Metallica, head in a box as a quartermaster.
I was thinking just fucking both legs. Like I was thinking he has bionic legs, but they are fucked up too, and they are like fucking seared to his skin in such a way that he can't replace them.
No,
That's why he's
a
crippled.
torso and a head, and he levitates off the ground with psychic powers.
No, I don't think that's
Why? Why was I programmed to feel pain? Oh god, no, he's a straight up like chaos cyborg. Remember those fucking ratchet ass things?
Oh no! I think
But he's a really bad one. He's basically just like a school skeleton with a fucking bunch of motors attached. He is a chaos android who's had his legs blown off. He's got a coating of human flesh. This is the new law. This is the deep shit.
He's also well acquainted with someone called Vlad.
Vlad.
We should check in on the chat. Well, yeah, that's... Yeah. Message retracted is the only new thing. Yay.
Chat is not as talkative as usual.
Not
Bad
today,
chat.
no.
Is it because we're not rolling lots of dice, chat?
Is it because we're
Roll
just
dice.
role playing?
Dice rolling.
You need to
Who's
have a
next
role
for the
playing.
PvP?
Let
I
me
have
just do a testing
returned.
to see if macro still works.
We've decided that the quartermaster is a chaos cyborg who's had his legs blown off.
That makes total sense, because that's pretty much what Gage is. Okay. But, like, he's
Chaos Emerald.
even more cybernetic, is that what you're saying?
He's literally just a robot skeleton with no legs.
Oh, that's
Chocolate
depressing.
saga.
The chaos androids are the most ratchet shit in the setting, unironically.
Yeah, I do like that idea. I do like the idea of him being Gage, though, as well, so I'm gonna say...
He's got a coating of flesh over him. like
Yeah,
the
he's got a
androids.
bit of flesh on him, but he's been so fuck it up and beaten up in his career. He is, like, very... He has the machine trait, basically. That's how fucked up he
It's
is.
clear that he, at one point, was an android, but he did have his legs blown off, so he's just got weird noodly legs that don't have bones.
I will find
Oh,
art for
God.
this next week, but basically he...
Do Mega Saver is offering to voice your quartermaster if you want him to.
It's gonna,
Yeah, that is... I might use that as his art. Fuck it, let's use that as his art.
Do it. assault pack.
Okay,
Such a good image.
Mega Saber, I will say this: you are welcome to voice another quartermaster character that will appear later on in the story, because he's going to be like a southern man, shall we say? Let's just say that. This is fucking perfect. Oh,
Such a ratchet image.
let me just make the character. Hold on.
I love that he wasn't originally smoking a cigarette, and they had to digitally add it in after the fact.
It looks good.
There's so many of these. Why are there so? When breech-loaded babies are not an option.
Oh yeah, I also loved how when they did that artwork, he looks like the Battlefield. He has the Battlefield 3 art style art as well, like with the lighting and the orange and grey. Okay, here he is. Da 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 da. That is perfect art. He sells you fucking loot boxes.
I love that it rhymes.
The kike on wheels on. No. I'm glad I'm not using that one, because that's even
Your
worse.
shekels he steals.
Your shekels he steals the kite on wheels!
Okay, Gren, place your token down. Not Gren, sorry, Skog.
Yeah,
I keep
where's my
mixing you two
active
up. Fuck.
field tab?
This is the worst thing we've ever done.
You can enlarge it if
That
you
big
want,
lad.
because
You
it's
just
just
physically
No, I
large.
can't do. I cannot.
Can you not? Oof.
Only the DM can.
I am this big. I live on the desk now.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it works. Okay, Skog, I presume you just have loads of bags of shit with you.
I was just thinking I'll have a wheelbarrow or something.
Yeah,
It's
I'll
just
tell you what, you have a
filled with
servitor,
guns,
bring it in for you.
magazines. Okay, the servitor has the wheelbarrow then.
Yep,
Just a big sack.
there you go. Alright.
Just gonna drop all this stuff in for storage because I can't fit all of this under my bunk.
Born to be wheeled? Oh no. Why is Gage such a meme? He's a massive meme in Payday now that I look at this words.
Fuck you, Nollis, my stomach hurts.
So just gonna drop off this big
Yeah.
sack of bits and this other sack of bits and all the stuff the servitor's carrying.
Okay. He wheels himself. There's this man, as you can see from the art, who's very heavily augmented. His face is somewhat mostly intact, but there's like a bit of synthetic flesh over parts of it. Some of it's got burned off over the years.
He looks like something out of a fucking virus.
Yeah. And he looks over at you, Ursula, and he's just like, you got more toys for me? What died this time?
So let me check. Some cultists of ours, some cultists of theirs, both the Marine boys, maybe a Psyker, I'm not sure, there's just scorch marks all over this one.
Wait a
what else
minute.
was there? There was a bunch of like Navy arms people, probably some officers.
Oh yeah, hun. The
captain, unfortunately.
Lord Cyrus.
Yeah, that elf we had. Yeah, elves were a mistake, but she's been dealt with. Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't know if any of
Fuck's
her
an
stuff
elf.
survived. You'll have to consult the new commander, Lord Nullus, for that. I don't know. The only thing of note that isn't pretty much just to go into general stores is this rather nice carbine. hold that back for someone special. I have someone in mind, but they're not too receptive to the idea at the moment.
Huh. Yeah, no worries, hon. The cultists and crewmen took the rest of the supplies from the Imperial Navy dogs. All their stuff's here now and all accounted for.
Good. Also, I can't bother to keep carrying this stuff around.
Ah, no worries. I'll take it off from the servitor and from
May
yourself.
need discarding all the heavy crap in my inventory that I've not actually used at all.
Yeah, the servitor basically just deposits Gage starts cataloguing on his day of slaying this cogitator, and he's like, not a bad haul, not a bad haul.
Don't suppose I could pick up another box of stubber shells?
Yeah. He basically just grabs a bunch of stubber shells that's just kind of lying there. He's like, here you go, hon. Enjoy.
Please take them. They take up so much room.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much his reaction. Alright.
Even the cultists aren't using stub round.
No, they're using flails and like las pistols or regular pistols, whatever.
What a gun and shit.
I shall add another box to my ammo supply.
He's like, anything else, hon?
No, thanks.
Are you interested in Gage aspects? $9.99.
You're interested in
Have a
some
nice
loot
day.
boxes? Only $4.99.
Unironically, I would totally buy a loot box if it lets me roll on the like only war fucking random
Okay.
table.
I'll tell you what, hon. Just for you, $2.99. Basically, Skog, if you want to do this, make a +30 to your infamy roll. See if you can afford this loot box, and it's going to be on the only wards and loot chart.
Alright.
No, this is new profile picture worries me.
Do I need Do I need a modifier on that? Or is it just-
Yeah, just put 30 in on the infamy roll.
Oh. Okay, I didn't put the 30 in because you said yeah, and then I clicked OK.
Okay, yeah, no, you can afford this one. Now roll, what was it, D100 bill for the only war chart.
Yeah, I think so. I've got them to hand
You've probably
now,
got it
only
somewhere.
war.
You got the book.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, you best believe I do, motherfucker. Okay, logistical tests. Okay.
I think
They're
that's
all
shit,
random.
but we'll soon find out.
Okay, what's the roll?
14.
14. A case of 20 suits of survival clothing.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's because this is meant to be like municipal gear.
Yeah.
That's like one of the few good rolls at this.
Okay, Ursula. The servitor, after doing a bit of wheeling and dealing with Gage, you agree to a price. You slip him some amasec or some sort of, valuable commodity. He says interestingly, he says some binaric chatter to the servitor. This guy actually understands it. Normally only Mechanicus dudes do it, but sometimes regular humans know it as well. And the servitor brings forth a massive fuck-off crate. And it's like, go ahead, hon. Open it.
Okay.
This motherfucker just manually input binary cant. So he had to literally say 101011101101.
Well, it's more a
I'd
case
imagine
of he
he's got a voice
chatters it,
modulator
yeah,
for it.
with his voice modulator.
God,
He doesn't use his natural voice for this because that'd be cancerous and take ages. The whole point of binary cant is it's super easy to say, and it's real. Like it says it really quickly. That's the whole point of it.
He's data dense.
Oh yeah, Grant's right. 9.99 because each. Oof.
Unironically, can this just be something we can roll if we can't think of anything to get on the logistics roll?
Yeah. Alright, you open it, Skog, and it's just full of survival suits. And Gage kind of
Alright.
looks over and is just like, hey, not a bad haul, hun. Not bad. Best one I've seen in a while, in fact.
Okay.
I'll send one of the servitors to help you carry it all out if you like.
what you
I think I'll leave most of it here if that's okay.
Yeah, please yourself, man.
I wouldn't want to deprive you of such high quality fabrics. I'll just take the one set.
Fair enough, man. I mean, tell your folks to come down and grab them. I
Yeah,
presume you and your Lord Nellis's folks will want first dibs on this.
We have uniforms.
Uniforms?
Yeah, I'll send them down.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Bib.
Alright, no worries, hon. And do you want to do anything else, Skull, while you're here, or do you want to depart?
I guess I will just sort of awkwardly leave, having been handed this like wardrobe filled with stuff.
just fucking. But why is it that every time we have a fucking like arms dealer in our games, he is a giant fucking meme?
Because they usually are in fiction memes.
Is it bad? All I want to
very
do.
rare. I'm just looking at the stats.
They're really
Very
good,
rare, like
actually.
5 kilo.
Survival suits,
That's
yeah.
100
fucking...
kilo box.
Oh, survival suits are no fucking joke. They are serious pieces of kit.
I've
Okay.
literally been handed a wardrobe. Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry to break character
fucking-
for a moment, Gren. Is there much you want to do with your cult leader, or do you want to save that for next week?
There wasn't really that much I wanted to do. But best if we could just get it over with.
Yeah, no worries. So yes, Skog, I take it you depart and go back to your regular duties.
Yeah, with my surprisingly high quality like evening wear apparently.
Okay. We shall return momentarily to Iona's little narrative. Okay, Iona. The
Yes.
cultists lead you to another figure who is also talking to a few Slaneshi worshippers. And they present you. What was her name again? We called it some weird Roman name or whatever.
Jeff.
Acosta?
Acosta.
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 Locust with an A.
Acosta.
Cost.
Acosta.
Lacosta.
Okay.
La Costa.
They go. The cultists say, Lady Lacosta, Iona has returned. And she turns around to look at you, Gren. And you've still got. You got the mask on still, don't you?
Mm-hmm. I have the mask on. But as she turns to look at me, I'll take it off.
Okay. Her expression is strange. She kind of just looks very confused at you for a moment, but then her face just kind of lights up like the rest of the cult and is like, my sister, Johanna, I see you have found the prince at last, truly.
It's he came to me as I was sleeping and granted me this gift as a reward for defeating a servant of the changer of ways.
Just one thing, Gren, is Lacosta Psyker as well. I can't remember if that was in her backstory.
She is just the cult leader, so that's really up to you. I imagine she was just really good at manipulating people.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Despite that, though, she kind of looks at you and goes, yes, sister, I can see you've been through a great deal recently. What brings you back to me, sister? I mean, To be quite honest, you seem to have accomplished more than I did in the past 10, 20 years. You've already gained his favor. It's more than I've been able to gain so far. It's more than I could ever have dreamed of.
She says, I am honored that the princess gifted me this, but I do not know why. From what I remember of my dream, this gift was for a purpose. And I don't know what it is.
The faithful don't always tell us what they intend, sister. It will come to you in time, I'm sure. You must seek out your future among the stars. I may not be one of the psychic talents. I'm not as psychically talented as you, but even I can see that you have a future ahead of you, I'm sure. And if not, well, I'm sure you will attain a great many glories for all the dark gods, not just him. Do you wish to remain with us, Johanna, or do you wish to seek out your future elsewhere? I'm sure the gods do not give their blessings lightly. I can tell you that much. I've only been blessed once in my whole life.
I believe that I believe I will find what I must do elsewhere. Thank you for your guidance, Lady Lacosta.
Of course, sister. You are always welcome here, whenever you need help. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think we will close out tonight's episode. It's been a fun one, I have to say. Any final thoughts from you lot?
It's been successes and failures.
Yeah.
I would say.
That's pretty much how RPs
Mistakes
go,
into
man.
miracles.
Man, I was amazed.
Yeah.
She got so fucking scared.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, Past. I wasn't too sure how you'd feel about your first RP, to be honest, but glad you had some
I
fun.
was fucking great. I love it.
Fair enough.
TBH, you got off easy for your first ever session.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one got thrown out of an airlock except in the previous episode.
Oof.
It was the follow-up to airlock throwing.
Okay, I will say...
Everyone is more or less getting over well, which is interesting.
Okay, hold that thought for a minute, Bill. I'll close this out for the viewers. We will return to the adventure hopefully next week, and we may have a bit more action. This was mainly a bit of RPing and a bit of downtime for us all, because we've had a lot of action the past 6 episodes or so. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm sure next time we will see the story move forward a little bit. Until then...
Nollis is saying, hold on.
Oh. What do you have for us, Nollis?
Broken microphone.
Oof.
Can't just say hold on and then...
Yeah, it's like,
okay.
Come on. Really?
Okay. On the final bombshell for tonight, Nullis says, Gage, we gotta get Hoxton back.
To which Gage says, no, you.
And on that bombshell, good night, peeps. We'll see you next time.